Why now? Why now? What's next? All right, we back at it. Part two. Still pulling up on these global events, you all. Looking at what's happening out here in this world, in these streets. I think it's really interesting that here in America, we don't want anyone messing in the elections or in the affairs of America, right? I mean, right now you have, 47 still, saying that an election was, stolen, or, Russia was involved, or China was involved, or, this one or that one, was involved. And there are penalties, and people are sought to be arrested for being involved in our process. But is it just me, that would say it's hypocritical to then go into other nations and countries and interfere with the way they do things? Does that not, trample upon the concept of international law? How is it that we can, not we, but how is it that a head of state can suggest that people overthrow or go against their government? But if anyone were to say that in America, it would be a problem. Furthermore, I'm just asking, does that seem like it would create civil conflict also, to where the people will be against its own people? And the fighting, like here, folks are saying, that there's been a great push for civil conflict to where, internally, the people will be at odds, with each other. Thank you all for coming into the live, y'all. This part two, we back. But these things are pretty obvious, right? Pretty obvious that you can, from here, the POTUS, he can claim that someone should take over their government, tell the people to rise up, right? But look at the type of crime that would be if it happened here. So why do we not understand and or see for over there it's kind of seen in the same vein and or venue, or, we penalize the people over there for, doing and or acting in the manner or the way they do, when over here it really is the same thing, just a different nuance, different levels. And some of you may be blind to it, you can't see it, right? But some, the oppression is real. The loss of life is real. Right here in America, the scope or concept of an oppressive government is right here in America. But some would say, we got it so much better. But does so much better make it so much right? So it's like, is America, or the leaders of America, are they playing God? Right? Thank you all for coming into the live. Let's get started. Share the live. We got enough to talk about. Last night we were into this thing, and You know, the room was full. The conversation was, you know, pretty much. It was what I call it. Uh, wow, I can't even think of the adjective. Firestorm. Yeah, we had you know, a firestorm. You know, going last night. Um, China. China sent a warning to the U.S. and said this was a mistake, that they would they would go into conflict with Iran, and they said that, you know, like, they're not going to just sit idly by. What's up, fan? Number one fan. uh, but they're not going to, you know, sit idly by. And these are things that we really need to consider. So, but my point, you know, that I was making, looking at the way America is functioning on the world stage, acting as if their hands are clean. And some of you might be mad, you know, that I'm expressing it this way. But the truth is the truth. Okay? And that truth is, for everything that this government is charging that government for, it's happening right here. And no different than they're calling for change over there. You all don't realize the government over here is under siege. It's under siege. The Congress is no more calling for conflict in other countries. They find out after the fact. And then they get briefed after the fact. And then if they create a resolution to say they want to end the conflict, guess what? It's now vetoed. They're powerless. So, what's going on? Why are there two heads? You know, why, you know, is there such a hypocritical nature? Why people can't just be honest with respect to what's going on? Can two wrongs make a right? And from that point, I know a number of you don't really want to talk about it because you've chosen sides. And you want to express yourself from, you know, the side that you've chosen. And that's cool. This is the place and or space that you'll actually have an opportunity to do that. But I'm just pointing out, you know, the observation that the leadership in America, it appears as if they are playing God. And as if their hands are clean. And while they're calling for the downfall of one government and asking people to, you know, uprise against the status of, or the status quo, or the government, what kind of civil conflict is that going to cause, and how much loss of life, you know, will that cause between brother and cousin and, you know, uncles, and, you know, the shared family tree? I'm just trying not to say certain words, you know, here on TikTok, right? So, you know, with that being in mind, it's like, here in America, this, unbeknownst to a number of you, this government is under siege. It's being taken over from the inside. And a number of you are quiet. In fact, you may not even know it's happening. The political theater game is strong, right? Thank y'all for coming into the live. The narrative trap is superb. But if you think we still have a republic, if you think we still have a republic, you're wrong. As I said before, That shifted and or changed a long time ago. Some of you are still talking about, oh, this is a constitutional republic. If it was, why didn't the Congress enact the conflict between Iran? Something that would happen under a constitutional republic. You don't think the government is under a stronghold and there's a different, government in power right now? Things are being done differently right in your face. Little nuances. But the government shifted a long time ago, as Benjamin Franklin told the young lady. You have a republic if you can keep it. Couldn't keep it. Let's just be true, y'all. Let's just call it for what it is and then understand how we're going to, deal with it. Why now? What's next? If you can keep it. So, unbeknownst to a number of you, we have an administrative government. It's so in your face. So much to where you'll say this administration, that administration, but you just haven't made the connection that, that is now the type of government in positional play. And that's why 47 can do a number of things that he's doing. You say, why? Why is that again? Because this is not the constitutional republic. This is not the Republican form of government. That government is suppressed. It's what I just tell you, it's an administrative form of government. As I said yesterday, look it up. Research the difference between the Republican form of government and the administrative government. And you'll see the differences, they mirror each other. But the administrative government can do something different. It can operate, sheerly from the executive power. And this is what we see happening in our face. But we don't understand it, a number of you. And you're arguing and you're saying, he's this, he's that. Well, this government has been co-opted, overthrown from the inside without any weapons going off. Unbeknownst to you all. It's a slow leak. And y'all mad, because I'm bringing it out, but it's something that we really do have to deal with. And you're focused on how bad it is supposedly over there in Iran and how they need change. Well, it's bad over here. And we need change too. But some of you don't feel like that. Some of you feel as what's happening is liberating to the world. So you're going to take an evil standard, an evil concept, and you're going to use evil supposedly to get rid of evil? Y'all stop. What kind of psychological mind trip are a number of you on? Oh, forgive me. I didn't really come on here to give you all a tongue lashing. I came really to hear what you had, to say. He says, Congress has given away their powers to the executive branch like AM. No, they didn't give it away. They never had it from the standpoint of the shift in government being an administrative government. So for a long time, they were trying to make things stay to the point of where it may look like it was the old model or standard, but the Band-Aid has been ripped off. And if you all can't see, and if you can't distinguish the difference for what's happening, that's on you. But it's in your face. But a number of you are walking around like you're blind in the daytime, bumbling, acting as if everything is normal or it's going to get better. Come on, y'all. Come on, the stage is open at any time. Why now? What's next? I did write a couple of things down because we have mixed emotions out here with respect to what's going on. While some are celebrating, others are mourning. You know, this is a real thing. There's the concept of retaliation that, is looking to take place. And in the scope of that retaliation taking place, what does that look like as China is in the wing, quiet as kept, methodically looking and or preparing to make their move? Where's that then going to place Russia? Biblically, this speaks to where all of the, allies and countries that, were in contract or on side or dealing with the great standing power nation, how they turned against that nation. Unbeknownst to America, are they facing a biblical proportioned end? Are we witnessing the fall of a thought to be great empire? Thank you all for, sharing it live. Y'all tap the screen. Tap the screen. We got a gang of people in the room. Tap the screen. Look at the daily heartbeat, up there. Let's get ready to get into it. So Iran says America is issuing false hope and chaos, and they're misleading negotiations. Like Iran is saying, whatever they're telling you are the negotiations that's going to happen, they're saying it's not going to happen. 47 says this thing is only going to last for 4 or 5 weeks. You had General, what's his name? General Steve Anderson. General Steve Anderson said it's going to take 6 months. Not only that, he said you're going to need 500,000 troops with boots on the ground to win this thing. He said you're not going to be able to do it, from the air. He said a lot of people think you can, win conflict from, the air. He said, but that's not going to be the way this is going to be won. So do you all understand what's getting ready to happen? The magnitude, not even what's getting ready, what's happening, the magnitude of it. Some of you, but what else? What else I got? Iran said they're not going to negotiate with the U.S. We got over 550 lives that have been lost in Iran. Iranian lives, they're counting thus far, over 550 lives have been lost. You got France saying they're ready to come in and protect the Gulf states from further attacks. You all, I'm not saying we're getting ready to enter into, world conflict for the third time. I'm not saying that, but are we paying attention, to what's happening? Do you really think America can bring peace on earth? For real. You can't even get peace in these states. You don't even have peace between the union states. You had one state just arguing about their sovereignty because another jurisdiction just came in and trampled all over the rights of the state or the rights of the people. But you all think this situation or these people are trying to usher in peace across the world. Y'all, it's a narrative trap. It's it's a political theater. What else to say? Oh, will we see peace in the Middle East or more unrest and violence in the street? Okay? So yes, I just told you, they say drones will not be enough. You know, they're going to need boots on the ground. Okay? Yeah, I think I touched on. Oh, and we had fighter jets. They say fighter jets fell, from the sky. What happened? Did they fall from the sky, or were they hit, by the other forces and, taken down? We got a lot to talk about. Why now? What's next? The stage is open. I think all you got to do is, hit the little invite button up there, and I can, pull you up if you want to speak your piece. Speak your piece or speak your frustration with respect to what's going on. The U.S. and Israel combining to have a greater stake, in the Middle East, that they can have broader control. So do you think the Arab nations are really just going to sit back and not do anything, like just let this happen, right? Is this the calm before the storm? You all? There are a lot of unanswered questions, surrounding this thing right here. And we got a lot of people in the room, early off. Y'all jam-packed, rushed up in here. Appreciate it. Make sure you tap the screen. Get involved. It don't cost you nothing to tap, right? You got the Daily Heart Me, up there. All right, let's get into it. So, anyway, with Iran, they are the biggest supplier of oil to China. And I'm not telling you all anything new, right? You all know this. But as I said last night, China is not going to allow the U.S. to choke them out like they're doing Cuba. Okay? So you got France on standby saying they're ready to protect the Gulf states from further attacks. Okay? The question remaining to another is, like, what is Russia, quietly doing as we look at what's transpiring? I appreciate you all for coming in. And look, if you know anything detail-wise about this that, we hadn't heard before, hey, please, it's, over 100 of you, like, up in the top, in the room right now. Come up and give us your understanding of what's happening. Are you familiar with the geopolitical events? Then, yeah, come to the stage, speak your mind. Let's see. Maybe I need to start inviting folks. Maybe y'all don't know how, maybe you don't know how to hit that button right there. All right. So I'm pointing out also how hypocritical it is for the United States. What he said, no civilian can do without Africa. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? That thought is incomplete. I'm trying to understand what you're saying. Maybe you need to come up on the stage and get your thought out. Sending you an invite. So here, America has sealed the deal, and God is using them to fulfill. Okay, come on.
No. Just before it comes in bad. But let's go to ahead. America. Try something else new, $3 or less. Am I loud? Participating supplement stores for supplies. Okay. Price of participation. Check my headset out. And perhaps I can talk directly to you. Oh, my daughter's turning it down for me. Yes, Africa lights up societies. Africa provides minerals to the world that without those minerals, their society would be the societies that they leave in destruction, in ruin, total ruin. They refine, use those products to benefit their financial endeavors, governmentalism, their infrastructure for government. And they leave the people of Africa in total destruction, ruin. Yet, there's still one person that has not bowed to the colonial powers to be. They have expelled those forces, Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. Since America's on the road they've taken from Venezuela, they have killed Iran's supreme leader. Now they need what Africa has to offer. They are making every offer and every deal that they possibly can to the president of Africa in those countries. Those countries, you do know, have each one a president all of its own. Those forces have unified, and now they need to come in to get the cobalt and the other substances that they need to keep them in comfort, let me say. They're lighting up Africa now. Africa has had a man strong enough to say to the world, get away, leave us alone. We will handle the situation that we're faced with. We've given you so many years of nothing, and we're still eating and drinking muddy water and eating like primitive people. And the world comes in and robs it and uses everything to benefit them and their agenda. This president here has said Africa is rich. Now you have presidents in other countries. Botswana, look at Botswana. The president of Botswana, I love you if you're listening. He raised up a diamond from the ground, big as an apple. Just think of all the years those stones bigger than that, rare stones, have been taken from that country. And the people that provided those stones have no running water, no lights, no roads, not much. Now they do. Ibrahim Traore has changed everything. You can drive 1,000 miles now on paved roads. No more dirt, no more mud. Africa's not taking it. Basically, what I'm saying to the viewers, to the listeners, Africa is not taking it any longer. You will not take anything from Africa any longer. And until Africa strengthens, they're not going to be a part of nobody's schedule. They make their own. Thank you.
All right, got it. So, why now? What next? Evolution, and then Gwen is going to speak. Why now? What next? Evolution, you on mute.
Let Gwen speak.
All right. Gwen, she passing it off to you.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
This situation with Iran is going to escalate. this is Bible prophecy
Yeah.
unfolding, and it's you know, the Bible tells us not to fear, but then when you see the residual effect of the people that it's going to affect, because when people start getting the spirit of revenge, and their nature is unpredictable, a lot of innocent people are going to perish because revenge does not care. Um, and, you know, my concern is number one, we cannot stop the will of God. And we do have a president that just does not care. The Bible says that all these nations are confederate against God's people, but nobody's listening. Nobody's taking heed to that, because if you mention that, then you're being a racist. You're putting hate out into the world, but you cannot take away from the truth of what is being revealed. And you know, these innocent people that, like he said, Africa has all these resources, but they have been told, you know, in over all these years that they're a poor country, being referenced as a S-hole country, but yet and still they're over there raking the resources of Africa instead of just doing the right thing and paying for what they want so that Africa can build their own economy. They're saying, well, we'll lend you some money, but we're gonna put a trade embargo on you where you can't sell your goods to nobody, right? And we'll lend you money that you'll never be able to pay back. And so now you see Africa trying to pay their debt back. They don't want things moving out of their country. They know the value of their resources now. And again, because everything that America needs comes out of that country, if they can't get it by keeping Africa impoverished and they don't want to pay for it, what do you think is going to happen?
Okay.
They're going
All
to take
right.
it they're going to take it by violence, like they are over in the Congo and the other regions over there that have resources. They've done it to Haiti, they've done it to Venezuela. That's their nature.
That is one of the questions I
What
asked.
resources has America taken from Haiti?
Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna call you up. I'm gonna give you a chance to speak. Hold on. That was one of the questions I was asking earlier. When you look at this government or the leaders in this government, if they were playing God, and if anyone kind of thought that. So it's interesting that you brought that to the conversation. So evolution, did you want to speak before I go to science
No,
screwed?
you can go to science.
Okay, science screwed up. Sound like you're trying to rebuttal something Gwen said. Come on, science screwed up.
I had to take myself out of mute. I'm just wondering, what resources did America take from Haiti?
You go ahead. Keep speaking. You got the mic right now.
No, that was my question. Gwen said that America took resources from Haiti,
Okay.
so I'm just curious.
So
Uh,
that's all you got. That's
I
all you
know that
got.
Haiti has a lot of oil as well, and there are other resources in Haiti that they're over there taking, because Haiti is one of the poorest countries in the whole hemisphere. So they
What
say, but there's so many
Haiti's a
resources
tiny
over there that they
place.
don't even have their own people running the government. They have taken over their government over there too. So
America's taken over Haiti's government.
I didn't say America, I said other
Well,
people. It could be
That's
other nations as well. I know that they're not running their own country.
well, didn't they have something happened there like 2 years ago? Remember?
Screwed up.
Yes.
Excuse me
It
one
was
second.
like
Excuse me one second, Gwen. Science screwed up. I just need you to make your points and say what you want to say. I'm not asking you to debate, with people that are, on the stage, right now, although there is
I
opportunity and time for you to
what
rebuttal. But, say what you got to say, make your point
I
clear. So,
did.
okay,
I
but you keep,
asked what resources that were taken. I asked what resources were taken, and she didn't really give me any
well, I'm asking
convincing points.
okay.
She said America took them, and then
All right, so I'm not really my patience is kind of thin, right now. If you all have something you want to add to the conversation, I do, have space for you to come up and say what you have to say. But I'm not ready for you to be trying to debate people on the stage when what's happening in the world right now, you all, none of us know really like what's going on. We're speculating about it all, and we're using our best intellect to gather and put together how we understand things and just how we can explain what's happening because our media is not giving us the truth. Our education has not explained, to us the truth. So, we have to fend for ourselves, at this point. Um, so, Gwen, all right, if you had something else you wanted to put out there, go ahead, and I'll see if Evolution want to speak, and we'll go from there.
If I mentioned America taking resources, I may not have meant specifically to Haiti. Okay, but let's be honest about it. All these nations, from America all the way over to the other side of the earth, have taken resources from the continent of Africa, Venezuela, Venezuela oil. A lot of this has to do with oil, it has to do with trade. That's what all these nations are set up for.
Right.
And so they all work together on one accord to some degree because this is a world trade thing. Now, I'm not part of all that educated as far as how all that work. I know supply, I know demand, okay, but the bottom line is that there's all these resources being drained out of Africa when they have more than enough resources to stand on their own financially, but they're being crippled through sanctions. If you don't
Okay.
agree, if people don't agree with the policies, they get sanctions, they get embargoes placed on them, which cripples the economy, which is the same thing they've done to Iran, the same thing they've done to Venezuela, the same thing that they've done to other countries. And this is why the temperatures of the other nations are flaring up because they have a chokehold on them.
Yes. They do.
So that's what I was trying to emphasize, the nature of the things that are going on that are bringing forth these wars and rumors of war. And now they're coming into fruition in real time.
Yes, it is.
So I'm going to mute my mic. I'm going to give someone else an opportunity to talk.
Okay, we got Nas Don't Ask.
How's everything going this morning, you guys?
It's all right. What's on your mind? Why now? What's next?
Man, I just, man, I think it's just beyond, wrong what the United States and Israel is actually doing. We, we've been up under Israel for too long, man. All of our politicians, all of our presidents. That's why That's why Kennedy got because he went against the 6-star state. And I just, it's coming to a time and an age where we're going to have to unite in order for us to prosper and actually grow as a civilization instead of being ruled and have this foot on our neck that we have to get up every day and go to work. And we work 40 hours a week, and then that's a third of your life. And then you sleep for a third, and what else do we have left to take care of all of our needs? We have not even 1/3 left to try to do that. And it's just the system of oppression and suppression that our government put above us, and they're controlling our unseen. They manipulated our belief. And I just think it's time for our civilization to wake up, man. United we stand, divided we fall. It takes a village to raise a family, man.
Okay. So, why now? What's next? Do you all, when we look at China being silent, I'm not certain if you all are aware of the warning that they sent to America, saying it's a mistake, to go into conflict with Iran, and that they're not just going to take this, laying down. They're not going to let America choke them out like they did
As
with.
they shouldn't. China gave America a fair warning, and I do know about what China did and how they stepped in and how they're backing Iran up. Russia's going to be the next one to back them up, because Russia, when America or when Israel sent them bombs over that same day, Russia attacked what was it called? Ukraine. Russia flatlined Ukraine just because all of the military bases that Israel and America have over there, they struck them. I don't know if anybody knows about that, but Ukraine just got bombs dropped on them immediately after we struck Iran. And that was just to get them out the picture. We don't have to worry about you guys coming in the back door and trying to hit us or even get close to our land. And that's why Russia stepped up and did that as soon as them. But they held the biggest military exercise, what was it, late last year, between Iran, China, and Russia. It's the biggest the world ever seen.
Okay, Sonic Blue, what you got, Sonic Blue?
My two cents on it is, if you're under 40, they should have no talking points about it, because it needed to be done, and I agree with it, and that's my 2 cents on it, because this is going on for a long time.
So, I'm just asking, and I've said this in my opening. We over here in America, if any other country were calling for and to overthrow the government, or that the people should overthrow, the government, that, will cause a firestorm. But yet we feel as if, or not we, but, this government, these leaders feel that they have the right to tell another country and its people that they should overthrow, their government. It's like, isn't that a contradiction even to international law? Is America now playing God? So you may feel it's long overdue, but who really gets to make that call? And are you saying like America hands are really like so clean that they
Well,
get?
here's my other 2 cents on it. If people disagree, the only thing is, what are y'all willing to do about it?
Okay. All
That's
right.
why I said, united we stand, divided we fall. We talk
But I'm
about
just saying, I did a
overthrowing.
video. If us Americans got a problem with Trump and all this and that,
I voted for
instead of
Trump,
saying
man.
yes, master, what are y'all willing to do about it?
Overthrow our own government. Let's get them the
How?
fuck out of America. We don't need them. They proved that when
Oh,
COVID, and
out
they
of
shut down for
America.
2 years. We kept the country running. The working class American got up every day and disobeyed them laws and disobeyed them
Well,
mandates.
like I
We're
said,
the ones.
nobody's
We're
willing
the
to
reason why
stand
our
up
country is
and
still
with
running,
10
bud.
toes down, you know.
All right. Hold on, you all. I'm
No,
gonna say.
everybody's too
Hold
scared.
on.
You know
Hold
what?
on. I'm just trying to say this. I want to have a
No
little.
sacrifice or
I want to have
whatnot. You
some
know what I'm
decorum.
saying?
I want to have some decorum. If you can't control your spirit, just drop yourself down. I'm gonna take you down.
Look, man, I'll stand on 10 toes down on the freedom of speech. If you want.
So,
Yeah, drop that guy. He's just speaking out his ass, man. He has no
hold on.
comprehension skills at all.
Can I make a
Hold on.
comment?
I'll let you make a comment. Hold on, though. You all, I do want to hear your points, and we're going to be flexible with whatever you want to say, but don't just be popping off your mic and trying to overtalk people. I mean, this is not the place for that. Okay, let people say what they have to say, and then if we have a rebuttal, we'll come in and we will make that rebuttal. All right, Gwen, you wanted to make a point. Go ahead.
Yes. One thing I did want to say that, and this is just my opinion. And one thing we have to, when you're doing when we're talking about these points, we have to be willing to hear what people say. We don't have to always agree, but it doesn't mean that we have to shoot down someone else's opinion. That's what these forums are about, to discuss different things and different opinions. And respectfully, we should be able to do that. Um, I was I was going by biblical points concerning this issue when it comes to America always being everywhere but where they need to be, taking care of the problems in our own country.
That's right.
We have children in an education system that is not preparing them for this new economy. Um, we have serious problems going on over here, but all of our money, all of our taxpayer dollars are going over to other countries to fund wars that we don't need to be in. What is our interest? Nobody is saying any of what our interest is. And so, it says here in Habakkuk 2 and 5, it talks about this matter, about how we go into other countries. Let me pull it up, but it talks about this very thing here. And see, people don't want to apply the biblical principles, but all of this is prophesied in the Bible. Um, and America is busy in everybody else's business but their own. Habakkuk 2 and 5. It says here, yeah, also because he transgresses by wine, and he is a proud man. Neither does he keep it at home, always in other countries' businesses, who enlarges his desire as hell and as death, and cannot be satisfied. A lot of these wars have to do with land, taking over areas that are prime for trade so that they can control the oceans, and just different motives for why they're going into these wars in the beginning. And they gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. It's like they like Russia wants more land, so they're going into to Ukraine. They're not going to give it to us voluntarily, so we're going to take it by violence and force. This has been the nature since this world was developed. And now we see that it's gotten worse and worse and worse over all the generations, to the point where it says here, shall not all these take up a parable against him? These other nations now are getting tired of being bullied by threats of embargoes, and you will stop you from being able to trade. If you don't do this, we're going to do that, even if it means going violent. And it says, shall not these take up a parable against him and a taunting proverb against him? Woe to him that increases that which is not his. You're going into countries and you're taking things that don't belong to you. How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay, shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee? These countries are not going to continue to allow what, like the gentleman said about China, and other of the nations around the world. They are getting fed up with all of this stuff that's going on, and they're eventually going to, do something about it. So I'm going to mute my mic and give someone else an opportunity to talk. But this is biblical prophecy coming to pass.
I can agree with you, Gwen, that this is of a biblical proportion. And Randy, you're next. What you got, Randy? You're on mute. Got to take yourself off mute, Randy. Randy, you new to TikTok?
You there, sir?
Okay, go ahead, Randy.
I just like to say, America's the most powerful country. We have to protect people, but you have to stop people like him from making nuclear bombs, or he's going to bomb us. He's got he's trying to get the technology to take us out. Everybody hates America. There's just too much evil in the world. Everybody's, like she says, trying to take everything, get everything, steal things. Just everybody mind their own business, but you have to have somebody, a leader, to take control to stop people from making these crazy bombs, or we're not going to have nothing. That's pretty much all I got to say. I hope God help everybody. I mean, it's insane.
1919, what you got?
Shalom.
Shalom.
Well, what I got is I've been studying. I'm an ex-Marine anyway, but I've been studying Iran, the Persian Empire, for years. I'm talking about over 25 to maybe 30 years. And what I've learned as, a pulpit, from what I see and from what I dissect, and some of the books that I have learned from the scriptures hold the word of the tablets hold the word of Yah, and that's what the scriptures supposed to reveal. So I come to read up on a book that someone gave me. It was a blue book, and it had different sections in it. And one of the sections was talking about the descendants of the Persians, the Iranians. It was forecasted in this revelation, in the scripture, from the prophecy, that Iran, the Persian teeth, marched down the streets of Israel with Magog. And now it's starting to materialize. Over a period of time, it will materialize. Let Yah's word be true and every man a liar. And I'm coming to see that is real. The scriptures are real. They are, and they are being fulfilled. So I have listened to Miss Gwen and others, and she's right. She's definitely right. You go into a country, it's like
going into a strong man's house. The only way you can take the house if you got to bind the man up and take his house and steal all of his belongings. But what type of nature did that come from? You understand? So, and I come to also find out before I did my study on the Persian Empire, did my study on us, you know, indigenous people here. You know, what about the indigenous people here in Turtle Island, America? What about Little Turtle Island? Well, come to find out, you understand, Revelation 17 describes her very fully. And if you're not ready, you need to get ready, because that might be on its way after the next page turnover after World War III. Because I do honestly, y'all believe that that is going to materialize and happen, because you can't beat the world. You can run an economy, but you can't beat the world, because those that he put up against you, he put in places for a certain reason, for a certain season. China, Xi Jinping, very, very technological. And they got weapons of mass destruction. Way more than what you think. You talking about hypersonic missiles? They the ones that invented. They number one in the hypersonic. Iran is really on the tip of that, but they did it themselves. You understand? The intelligence. That's what I'm talking about. The intelligence. You understand? Now, when we have what we could have, we kill it. Because, see, they don't want creators around. They get rid of them, and they steal their inventions. Just like they've been doing this since the past 400 years we've been here. I'm going to tell it like it is. I'm going to call a thief, and a liar, and a murderer. So it is just as simple as that. So in this depictor, bombing Iran was, truthfully, you're going to play it out, because missiles cost money. They cost money. And it takes, I don't know, because they're incapable of shooting down a hypersonic missile, regardless of what payload it carries. But what if it had a nuclear conventional payload on it? It's disastrous. So my theme is, you understand, revelation in the word of Yah holds true, and every man a liar. We just all have to be patient, you understand, but act accordingly, you understand, to the word, and fulfill his promises, because a lot of us have turned truthfully away from the original way that we really were supposed to live, because of the way this world changed our mentality. We don't even think the way they thought in the 40s. We don't even have bells. Where all the bells? Where did they go? There's nothing there to tone our bodies to the new dimension that we're in. There's nothing there. Nothing. The only thing that can help us in this new dimension is the air, in which will be saturated with hydrogen. By next summer, you'll know what I'm talking about. By this summer, you will feel what I'm talking about. Peace, love, bro. I love talking to y'all. I don't really come on here because I work too much, man. Everybody think I'm a slave, but I'm a slave to y'all, and y'all own it.
You got that DMV accent too,
Oh,
and
you know I'm from the district. How you know I'm from DC, bruh?
you got that accent. You like you about to say Joe any minute. You know.
Anytime, Joe. Right on, bruh.
So
Right on. It's much love. I'll be watching you sometime, bro. I got much admiration for you for what you doing and the knowledge that you and Gwen and a lot of others on here putting out there. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, it's always each one teach one. You know what I'm saying? We like, life is a book. Life could be a song. Whichever which way, whatever he put in you, but it's not on the outside of you that he lives. Y'all always existed on the inside. He never was without. They teach miseducation, just like Curtis Mayfield said in his songs. They miseducate our kids. How can you respect someone that is in non-existence, you understand, than the force that is looking upon it? How? How? The world is a reflection of what's on the inside of you and on the inside of us. The universe is on the inside of a woman. But I'll teach that in the next segment. Y'all catch one of my channels on one of my chats. And that's why they call me 19. Because that's the universe that we're really from. Peace, love, shalom. I love all y'all, man.
I do say it's interesting, you all. You never know, you know, who's watching. So, you know, I try to make sure I stay on point. And we got Dan that's going to come next. So I say, why now? What's next? Will we see peace in the Middle East or more unrest and violence in the streets? All right, Dan, you can unmute. Let's see what you got, Dan.
Assalamu alaikum, y'all. Family. We're gonna be real today, y'all. Iran ain't Iraq. It ain't Afghanistan. See, my daddy was in the Marines. See, what America do, they'll steal all your knowledge. They steal all your ideas and then make it their own. Years later, they say, well, we invented it. White tea people invented it. Then what my daddy did, he say, man, Vietnam, they destroy all the vegetation. So all the Vietnamese, they ain't have no farmland. They took away their food. They took away their water. They poisoned the water. That's how low America will go on you, dude. America go real low. But if you do it, it's a crime against humanity. But when they do it, it's okay. The media don't talk about it. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta be real, y'all. We gotta be for real. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't for the Ayatollah. You know what I'm saying? Cause my daddy was in Iran in 1979 during the Shah regime. And I'm gonna be straight with you. I ain't gonna say too much, man. But my daddy had was in jail over there. So we gonna, you know what I'm saying? So, but Iran, man, they gonna stand their ground, dude. These are Muslims. We talking about Islam. It's in the religion, man. You ain't supposed to back down. You back down, you going to hell. You better stand up for your rights, for your women, for your children. You don't back down. Backing down ain't part. Hey, man, that's a traitor, dude. You know what I'm saying? When you got the enemy coming at you with all the soldiers and the traitor right next to him, you got to get the traitor, not the enemy, because the enemy might trade you in for another or one of his own. You know what I'm saying? The enemy got rules of war for you. But the traitor, oh no, dog. The backstabber, the snitch. We gonna talk about snitches. You know what I'm saying? That's what's tearing up our community. They quick to tear, hey man, hey, I'm more scared of my own than anybody else. I ain't scared of nobody, dude. White people, I know what the popo gonna do. Shit, I know what white people do, man. They gonna do what they gonna do. We gotta be real, y'all. So, you know, I can't say too much, but hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what I'm saying? Iran ain't gonna back down. For real. And hey man, they did this all on their own. Ain't nobody helped them. Ain't not one nation helped them. They ain't down with China. They ain't down with Russia. They Islam. Mughal. You know what I'm saying? This Islam, dog. You know what I'm saying? When you pray, It don't matter if you handicapped, you broke, you poor, you rich. Y'all all in one line, going and praying in one direction. That's called promoting unity. That's called promoting brother. See, we brothers in faith. We got faith in one God. And we brothers under that rule and regulation, meaning we don't we don't steal, we don't unalive each other, we respect each other. You know what I'm saying? We respect the women, our daughters, our women, our grandmamas, our women, our mamas. I can't look at your sister and say, ooh, no, that's my sister. That's my mama, that's my grandmama, that's my daughter. That's how Islam is. And man, I'm gonna be straight with you. It saved me. Now, I ain't an extremist. I don't take it to that extreme. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to tell you, man, you seeing the results of Islam. You ain't seeing no Iranian government. You ain't seeing that China and Russia communist people. You seeing Islam. And these Arabs, they coming to our community, man. They selling porno and all this other stuff. Alcohol, cigarettes, shit, they even sell drugs if they could. So, you know, that's how they about the money. You know, they sellouts, man. They traitors, man. They backstabbers. They ain't Muslim. Come on. Okay, I said my piece, y'all.
All right. Appreciate you. I want to thank all of you for being on the panel right here. We got one more guest that just came up, and if don't nobody else take the stage, then we're gonna circle back to evolution. Maybe she got something to say, or Randy. We're gonna come back to one of you, but right now, Snap Mark, it's your time.
Hey man, what's
Let's
going
see.
on?
What's now? What's next?
So, I,
Snap Mark.
when the guy Ali Khamenei, what's up?
Go ahead. What's now? What's next?
Yeah. So when they unalived Ali Khamenei, the like everybody says, oh, it's a good thing, or it's like it's bad for Iran. Like a lot of people don't realize they love that. Like Iranian people see that like he died for martyrdom. They're like, that's a good thing. Like these people love death as much as we love life. And everybody need to understand that the man's old. He's like 80 something years old. This man, he said, I don't want to die in a bunker because if I go in a bunker, and most Iranian people out here don't have bunkers. So if they're gonna hit me, let them hit me as I am. But Iran is too damn smart. And in just one day, they hit all these military bases. They hit billions and billions of dollars of American radar systems and anti-missile defense systems, and in just one day. And now, after they destroy all that, we're gonna see a very, very big impact. And I know we're America, the greatest country in the world and the strongest country in the world, but we're soon going to find out that we're going to bring ourselves to the breaking point. We're going to lose every influence we have, every power we have, just trying to fight a country out in Iran. Now, I think in the long run, we're going to win. This is going to be a long, dragged out war. Iran's not like something we could take care of in a couple of weeks or a couple of months. But what's going to end up happening is we're going to lose so much of our superiority, of our superpower, of our military, of our warships. We're going to lose so much of that, and then when it comes time to shine, China's going to pop out, and they're going to be the superpower of the world. And we're doing all this because Israel. Because the way Israel sees it is any of you Christians or Muslims or you guys are goyim, you know, in the Talmud, Israel believes that every Jew is going to have 70,000 goyim slaves, right? And what they say about Jesus is burning in hell in a pool of semen. This is what they believe. So to say that America and Israel align the same and we have the same goals and the same aspirations, no, it's very different. They actually hate Christians. They hate Muslims. They believe all the Christians and Muslims are only slaves for the Jew. And if they unalive a goyim, that's actually good for them. It's not even a crime. If they rape a goyim child, it's not a problem. You know what I'm saying? So what we're gonna see is we're gonna see Iran fight back. We're gonna take a big hit as America, but we're doing this because our daddy Israel tells us what to do. And call. But I think we're gonna see a time
where we're just going to be losing face, and we need to look at other countries to go to. Like, bro, I'm going to be honest with you. I already got a backup in Egypt, and I got a backup in Ghana. You know, just in case something happens in America, it ain't shit. It's time to travel. It's time to get out this country because our country is already controlled by Israel, and it doesn't benefit the people. It just benefits corporations, and we're going to take the biggest hit of any loss. That's all I got to say, man.
Okay, well, hold up. The call's 2K. I don't know who you is. I don't know if you deep. I don't know if you was government, you CIA. I don't know who you is, but I'm gonna say this: Russia and China got nukes, dude. And let me tell you something. These little small countries, they got chemical weapons. You know, they got bacterial weapons. Man, the world ain't backing down, dude. They ain't gonna. These Muslims, they don't back down. They stand their ground.
No, you're
This
right.
ain't no damn Iraq, dude. This ain't no damn Afghanistan. For real, though.
No, I mean, yeah, Afghanistan, Iran, Pakistan has nukes, Russia has nukes, China actually has nukes, but they actually have the hydrogen bomb. So if you're
Well,
talking
let me tell you
about,
something. Pakistan
nobody
offered
has
their
that.
nukes to Iran. They said, we're going to give them to you. We're going to help you out, bro.
Mm-hmm.
For
Yeah,
real.
yeah,
Look it up. That's why
but
they're
they
trying to
don't
start a
need
war
to.
between Afghanistan and Pakistan.
Yeah, they don't need to right now. Like, you guys don't understand. Like, Iran's holding their own. You know, they don't need the nukes right now. If it comes time for it, yes, North Korea, China, and Russia is going to get involved. China will not let that happen. If we had a war with China, right, we're just weakening ourselves with Iran. After all our military bases are gone, that's what made America so strong. We could hit China, we could hit Russia straight from the Middle East because we have so much. Just Google the military bases in Saudi Arabia. We're all over that shit. And what's going to happen after this, after a month into this? There's no military bases left. Like, literally, it's like the morale of America is so shit gone garbage that we have our warship out in the coast in the south of Iran. And what are the American people doing in the Navy? They're clogging the fucking toilets because they've been there on the water for over 300 days. They're sick of it.
They can't escape because they're outnumbered. They're blocked in. They cannot escape. Read.
They're going to close the
The,
Strait of Hormuz, dude.
They done closed the
the Strait of
strait.
Hormuz is closed. Yeah.
Some of the news that they're feeding us is some B.
Hold on. I just wanted to say I need y'all to hold on for a second. We got somebody new that popped up on the stage. I want to give him a chance to speak. And I want to say to a Nas, don't ask, thanks for being patient up there at the top. We're going to circle back around and give you all a chance to, have rebuttals and give your thoughts. But Brian Tech, what you want to add to the conversation? Why now? What's next?
Okay, yeah, I was here with you this morning, right? And
Okay.
I wanted to respond to Snap Market. The way he was coming at me about the U.S. Okay, all right, this is for him. Okay, I'm just letting you know. Like I said, I'm going to say it again. Whether I'm saying it over here or if I were in front of you, I'm going to tell you the same thing, right? The U.S. is not as powerful as they're making people out to be, right? You said there was no boots, no, America can't be touched, and because you guys didn't, there was no boots on the ground. Listen, man, you're protected across the Atlantic, right? You're all the way across the Atlantic, and trust me, when you leave America and go somewhere else, yeah, you can be touched, right? As you see what's going on now, right? I'm just going to break it down to you again, right? uh, when the U.S. and the Soviet Union was around during the Cold War, the U.S. used to be kept in check, right? Some of the things that they're doing now, they couldn't do it. After the fall of the Soviet Union, they became the sole superpower in the world, right? They came up with this thing because the Cold War is over. There was going to be a peace dividend. How many wars have the U.S. been involved ever since, right? The U.S. or what really happened to the U.S. is what really started the downfall of the U.S. or how they got so weak is when they went into Iraq, right? You guys went to Iraq and spent $7 trillion in that war that wasn't necessary over the supposedly weapons of mass destruction, right? You, like I said, you deindustrialize yourself, right? You become a financial, instead, you get rid of the factories and then what you call it, became financialized, and then because you have the world reserve currency, you send all your factories and everything is done to Wall Street, right? There's nothing being made in US anymore, right? China sneaked up on you and now is the world factory, right, of anything. They can outproduce you, outlast you in any production. Right now, China has the world largest navy, right? I told you that this morning, right? They have the world largest navy. They're building, like, they can build like 2 to 3 ships a month. The United States can only build maybe 2 or 3 ships a year, right? The United States doesn't have the power or the logistics, right, that they had after the end of the Cold War. They need help. As you can see, they can't even protect their bases in the Middle East as we speak, right? American weapons, in most cases, are over. The way they portray it as being some. Yeah, they do have sophisticated weapons, but if you look, and the last time America has developed any new weapon system, most of the weapon system they have now is pretty outdated, right? The F-16, the F-16 was developed in the 70s. The F-15 was, I think it was in the 80s, right? They came with the F-22, where the F-22 was developed to challenge the Soviet Union, but the Soviet Union fell. Now the F-22 is outdated. Yeah, it's a sophisticated aircraft, but it's more like an interceptor, right? The we call it the lobbyist, right, sold a bag of goods to Congress or to the Senate, right, with the F-35. That F-35 can play every role, which is total BS, right? The F-35 is garbage, right? You can't have an aircraft that does everything: an interceptor, multi-role fighter, right, a bomber. That's impossible, right? Uh, um, like I said, their manpower has decreased. They have so many bases around the world, right? You spend 800 billion a year on defense, and most of that money goes to servicing the bases, right? Russia has more modern weapons than the United States, right? You guys have the Minuteman III. The Minuteman III is over 50 something years old. Every year you have to remove a warhead to test the missile to make sure it works, right? Russia has newer generations of nuclear armaments, right? Your most modern nuclear arms are mostly in the submarines and maybe in your bombers, right? But like your ground based ICBMs are outdated, right? You claim that they claim that they have one of the most potent air defense systems, right, in the world, which is the Patriot and the THAAD system. Those, what this war is proving is that your air defense system is a myth. Russia has a more potent air defense system, as you can see how it performs in the Ukrainian war, right? The United States is just trying to hang on to its headman, right? Because, like I said, you guys don't have the industrial capacity to keep up with the Chinese or the Russians. Even Rutt admitted that Russia is outproducing the entire NATO membership in arms production, missiles, armament, right, aircrafts, tanks. So don't come to me and talk, like, oh, America can't be touched or all that BS, right? America is just hanging on. America is a dying empire, just like every other empire, like Rome, Greece, the British Empire. It overstretched itself. It's in deep debt, right? 36 or 37 trillion dollars in debt that you will never pay off, right? And they can't keep up with industrial production to meet their military needs. Even they had to hire, right, South Korea to help them build ships. So, man, if you're gonna come at me with
No,
facts,
no, no,
right?
no, no. Look,
You know what I
you
mean? Yeah, I just want to put it out there for park bench, right? Because, like, you're trying to, like, if you're gonna, like, yeah, I can understand that. Yeah, America is great, America is powerful. Yeah, that was in the past. But they, you know what I mean, like, they wasted all of that, right? Like the person what you're saying, right? You guys, America is hated around the world because of certain individuals, not Americans itself, just the individuals, right? That try to impose your will or impose Western values, right? Not everyone wants to be like America. You know, like a lot of people like to have their own identity and their own ways, right? But
Thank you.
America thrives on being the hegemon and on maintaining like the you know their trading power and the military power by bullying other countries and forcing them, or if they don't toe the line, they want to start a war. That's why they want to start a war with China. China is the existential threat to them. And like I told you earlier, last year or before the ending of last year, China had a $1 trillion trade surplus. The most, no other, not even the US did that. And they did that without the United States. They do not need the United States. The United States need China because China make most of the stuff. Because remember, during the COVID, you guys couldn't even make a face mask. You had to import face mask. So, you know what I mean? Come on, man. You know, you don't drink too much of your Kool-Aid about America's power. That's in the past. You're talking about the past. America is weak. America is weak. See, just now, Spain told a NATO member told the United States to leave their air base, to take their air tankers off. They don't want to be a participant of the war, right? They told America, a NATO country, and NATO just announced that they will never, they won't be participating in this war. America is on their own right now. Trump doesn't know what to do, right? The defense sector don't know what to do, right? Because they never expected this reaction from Iran. They were being warned
Sorry to
many
cut you off.
times, right? They've
Let
been
me
warned many times.
sorry, sir, to cut you off.
Hold on,
And
I'm coming to you,
the
Dakar. I'm coming to you, Dakar. Hold on. I'm coming. Brian, all right, we're gonna let you come back. We got two more people that just came on the stage. We're gonna let Dakar speak, and then we have Jay that's gonna talk. So I'm gonna ask for you
Okay.
all that are on the stage, you know, if you will. You know, I appreciate Nas Don't Ask. You know, he shared the live. But while you all are sitting up on the stage, you can tap the screen, you can share, you know, the live while you're waiting for your time to come around and speak again. But we want to do acknowledge when new folks come up on the stage and give them a chance to speak. And I can appreciate you all for being so disciplined and not just, you know, jumping off your mic, because we do want to give time to let people be heard. And then we want to circle back and provide, you know, rebuttals. So y'all be patient. And if you're making notes based on what certain people are saying, you will have an opportunity to rebuttal. So right now, Dakar, go ahead.
yes, sir, Dakir. Thank you, Mr. The Cause 2K. I'll be short and sweet with it. Um, to those Muslim nations that is supporting the US with these bases, you do dirt, you get dirt. You are getting what you deserve by laying in bed with American imperialism. It is raining bombs in Qatar, Bahrain, the United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia. So, oh well. The reason why that I say that is because those nations did not support Palestine. And I am all for a sovereign nation such as Iran. Yes, they may be Shia and I'm Sunni, but I'm definitely for Iran. And I'll leave it at that.
Okay. Jay, you can talk and y'all be ready if you want to rebuttal. You know what's being said after Jay. If don't nobody else come up on the stage, we're gonna open it up and you know you can make your rebuttals or your furthering comments. Jay, what you got? Jay, you're on mute if you're trying to talk.
There we go. I'm driving down the road listening to you guys. What was that guy talking about? He didn't approve what Trump was doing, that Trump didn't know what he was doing. Hegseth didn't know what he's doing. They're doing exactly what needs to be done. Bomb the fuck out of the Muslims over there. Get them all. I mean, kill them all. Now, if they want to be part of a civilized society, then let them be part of a civilized society. And you got to nuke them all. I wish they would have nuked them. You know why? Here's what I think. Here's why I think America joined Israel in this, because Israel was ready to nuke them. And America said, nah, we'll join you. Just not nuke them. We'll do it through conventional means. And we won't, but you won't have to nuke them. But you know what? I'm ex-military, retired. I'm 60 years old now. I voted for Trump. I would vote for him again. And if you live in America and you spouting anti-American shit, well, just fucking leave. Fucking leave. Go over there and live in those fucking countries then. Go over and live in Iran. Because you know what? They don't have the grinder app over there that a lot of you faggots want to be a part of. I guarantee you that. I'm out.
All right, so
Wait, hold up. I got something to say though.
I can feel a firestorm coming on.
Yeah,
You know,
I
after.
got something to say. I
I want to
mean,
burn that guy though, to be honest.
Hold on,
I
I can
got
feel
something
a
to say
firestorm
too.
coming after that. I got you guys. We got one more person on the stage. Mel just came on the stage. Mel, you can speak your piece, and I know we got a firestorm coming after that one right there. Mel, go ahead.
Grand Rising, brother, and to the panel, Grand Rising. Um, yeah, that's part of the problem right there. What just left, that type of pride and that type of arrogance, and then to call somebody, he was trying to get your live shut down, brother, using the type of language he was using. But beyond that, what next? Why now? Because it's prophecy. The most high laws and commandments don't ever change. And see, we have become so consumed with man's law and man's way of doing things. And scripture tells us to conform ye not to the ways of this world.
Right.
And we are constantly conforming to the ways of this world. Right now, what's happening is prophecy, is spiritual, and it's time for us to realize what this is really about. It's about good and evil. And in this scenario, we are the good. We are the ones that the Most High Yah has put his faith in. And it's time for us to start putting our faith in each other. This what's happening right now is revelation. It talks about tyrannical leaders. It talks about the big war in the Middle East that's going to jump off. This is commandments. These are laws. These are words that come from the Most High Yahuwah, which will never change. See, it's time for preparation right now. And we need to be in the midst of this madness. We still need to be in preparation. We need to start working collectively. See, the Most High does things for a reason. And what he's trying to do right now with his people, which is us, he's trying to bring us back together. He wants us to open our eyes. He wants us to start giving each other the benefit of the doubt and stop giving this world, this country, and these men, these so-called leaders, the benefit of the doubt. We all we got out here. I say this on my platform all the time. We need each other because we all we got and we all that we need. We ain't never needed nobody else and ain't nobody else ever came to our aid. But we still managed to progress. So just imagine right now in this moment, if we as a people come together collectively and work as a unit, meaning as one. We need to pick up the black print, revise it. It's 2026. It'll still work for us. I'm going to land there.
Oh, okay. You talking about decolonization, but that's another conversation I'll bring up.
Yes, sir.
Reclaiming our autonomy, and that's another conversation I'll bring up. But let me start back with Rod 19. I know you had something you want to say, and then we're gonna go to Dan and Nash. Don't ask if you know want to come on. Then we'll come back to you. Rod 19.
First of all, I'm going to come in peace again, regardless of all the rhetoric. But as you know, when you feed off of something like that, you can spin it, but I'm not spinning anything. I'm telling straight up facts. In the 1800s, 1700, in the 1900s, I remember them, the ones coming over here off of them steamships and them steamboats. And then all of a sudden, the people that was here that owned everything, this was right about the time before the Titanic sank. Because when the Titanic sank, the flip was already in. And for them to say, oh, it was maybe a crew of, it was maybe a flock of maybe 12 blacks on the ship. That's a lie. When 80% of them owned everything over here. And the flip was in, because if you sink the ship, they own all the deeds. And the other people that did not get on the ship takes over. And it's the same bull crap they spitting right now. So I'm going to tell it like it is. You understand? What the brother was saying about the Muslims over there, I've been over there. And I'm Sunni, study Sunni. But the Shiites, oh, they real with it. They real with it. And what they believe in, hell with the money, hell with the bull crap. I gotta go get when it's a last minute emergency. Straight up and down would die for what they believe in. He telling facts, because I seen it. I've been there. Persian Gulf 1 and 2. So, and that war cost us trillions of dollars. For what? Bull crap. Bull crap. What they spitting there? Oh, well, they're inventing something that was... Them people didn't want no war with us. We wanted a war with them because of Bibi. Just like he said, Satan does speak the truth sometime. He might have been right. They was going to go try to go do that. And he said, nah, we'll just go to war with them with you. But you never really know what's being said behind the scenes in the wicked. But Yah knows because he already foreseen it. That's why the scripture holds truth. And every man is a liar. Every man is a liar. And that prophecy, it is going to come true. Because guess what? They got partners. Mr. Bold American, they got partners. So get ready to jump into your bunker. Because the sun going to run your tail in there this summer. If you ain't in a bunker by then, before then, the sun is going to run you underground this summer with that 135, 142 coming your way. Now, American that. And you don't even know what you up against and what you brought over here. You the one brought the diseases over here. You the one brought the plagues over here. Don't let me start on you, you caveman. I'm done. I hope you heard that, Mr. Cave Bat. And tell your wife she's a cave Miss Cave Bat.
All right, so Nas don't ask. Did you want to add to the conversation?
Bitch ass nigga.
Yeah, I'm sitting back enjoying the conversation, man. I got my 7-month-old in my arms. I'm rocking him back to sleep. So I'll pass the mic.
All right, cool. Let's see.
It was my turn. I don't get a turn.
Oh yeah. You get a turn. Come on.
You
Cause
have
I
a
got a speech impediment, huh?
you have a good
Come
show
on.
going here,
You
man.
got a turn. Come on.
Yeah, I got something to say on that white supremacist there, man. He talking about
Go ahead.
do all the movement like that, huh?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, so you in they land, dude. White tea supremacists. You truck driver, redneck, racist. You in their country. Why you trying to take over the world, dude? This time it ain't gonna happen. These people got chemical, bacterial. They got it all, dude. They got all access to everything. They say we defending ourselves. You the one that started it. You start the world and you talking about we need a new. So you want to dominate the whole world? It ain't gonna happen. That's a dream. Not everybody, what you call it, Native American, where you could take their land. Some people gonna defend their land. Some people ain't gonna turn around, bend over, and say, "Put it in my asshole," and then go ahead and f my mama and my grandmama and hang my people and whip my people. Some people ain't down for enslavement. They don't like slavery. They like being unalive better than being a slave. I agree to that. Ooh, these people, how they talk, man. The racism, it bleed out, it sweat out their body. You could, over the internet, dude, over the damn satellite, you could feel their racism. It's so deep. Instead of talking about human rights and praying for everybody, they got the white T Jesus. The white T Jesus say, "Oh, only the white T people human. Everybody else, they just savages." That's what they think. That's how they. That's in they DNA, dude. Like these people saying we defending ourselves. You attacking us, dude. Stop attacking us. We'll stop retaliating. Then you talking about wiping them off the map. Kill all the Muslims. Well, I got a question for you. I'm from H-Town, Houston, Texas. Sir, I got Mexicans rob me. I got white tea people harassing me. Popos harassing me. I can say this for everybody in this live. I guarantee you, and I bet my life on it. I bet my whole life on it. That I guarantee you, ain't not one person on this TikTok, on this live, everybody that visited this live, don't got not one person they know, somebody that knows somebody that a Muslim bother them, rob them, hurt their family, or anything. Muslim, they might not like you, but they ain't gonna bother you. They ain't gonna harass you. They ain't gonna bully you. They ain't gonna take your rights away. They ain't gonna enslave you. That's one thing I got a history with these Muslims. They never bother me. They don't harass me. They don't do nothing to me. Matter of fact, they gave me a job at the dollar store. I said, you're underpaying me. He said, that's all I can afford. If you want it, I got it for you. You could clean the parking lot up. At the gas station, he said, look here, man, I got $150 for you. You can clean up the parking lot. I ain't no rich man, but I got a little money if you want some. Okay, then I get off.
Jay Blaze just came up. Jay Blaze,
I
what
don't know
you
who
got?
muted me though. I was talking.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought you was yielding. All
No,
right, go ahead.
somebody muted me, I think. Okay, well, never mind then. I'll back off.
No. I thought you was yielding. If you want to finish your thought.
I yield, because I can keep going. See, these Iranians, man, they ain't these Arabs that are on the government, that are on the American Washington payroll, like Iraq was, like Saddam was. These people down. Money can't buy these people, man, like the Taliban. You can't buy these people. They're gonna fight to the last one. And you want to take them out? Go ahead. Go ahead. But God forbid they get the chemical weapons, the biological weapons, and the nukes from China and Russia. God forbid. Cause then it's gonna be a battle of the whole, you know what I'm saying? You know already. I don't gotta say it on this live. Okay, I yield my case.
All right. So Jay, well, no, yeah, Jay Blaze. Jay Blaze, what you got?
I just got in on the live. I don't know much of what y'all talking about, but whenever the guy said he had police, YT people harassing him and stuff like that, I've been around that stuff since I was 10 years old. Well, my whole life, to be real with you, and I'm 42, and I'm a survivor of police brutality. They almost broke my neck, and I'm having trouble with my limbs now. And I'm starting to see a lot of hatred come on the black man in the United States. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. You just starting to see it, or
I've been
this
seeing it
something?
my whole life, but people act like I'm delusional or whatever. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But
Yeah, I agree with you there.
down
That's
in,
the same thing I say. I realize we got problems over here,
yeah,
and these problems we don't have peace over here, but we have an administration and people that think they can go someplace else and create peace. Brian,
right.
did you wanna speak?
I yield. Thank you.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hey, to
Okay.
that brother, you just
So,
made me cry, brother. You made me cry. You
yeah,
made me cry,
so,
brother, because the police brutality is so bad. Ain't
It
nobody
is.
talking about it.
Nope.
They unalive us in our own home.
Right.
In our own home, innocent people, man, they just coming in our own home. We begging for help, and they unalive
Yep.
us in our own home. So
Yep.
I love you, brother.
I love you too, brother. And man, I try to get help from Internal Affairs, FBI, the Department of Justice. Lawyers went and talked to me. Um, all kind of agencies. I try to reach out to every agency I knew. In the NAACP, wasn't nobody talk to me, and now I'm stuck trying to raise a 4-year-old and some grandchildren on disability, not knowing which way I'm gonna go.
So for real, you all, for real, you all. Jay Blaze, he
Yeah,
does bring up a very important subject based on how we have been treated in this country, are still being treated in this country, but yet again, there's a interest within government that feel they can go to other countries and say they need to do better and they need regime change, but yet, right here
right,
in America, it's worse. All I'm saying is there are different levels
right.
to
I
what's
always,
going
I always
on.
felt like that too. Since I was a little kid, whenever they were talking about Christopher Columbus coming over here, and I was like, "Ain't that murder?" And the whole classroom looked at me like I was crazy.
um,
So,
yeah,
just want to point out, that we have a um, well, there's a government, let me say it like that, that's calling for the overthrow of another government. And I'm just wondering if people here, in the Americas even understand or know that their own government has been usurped and or taken over, and it's not what you think. It is said to be. Hey, Brian, we got somebody new that just came on. I'm gonna let them speak, and then we're gonna circle back to you, Dominique. What you got,
okay.
Dominique? You on mute, Dominique. All right, Dominique cannot find his mute button. Dominique, man, going once, going twice. All right, he having problems. Brian, go ahead.
Yeah, as you know,
You
that
hear me now?
one of the ser
Oh, my bad,
Okay,
Joe. Go ahead.
hold on, Brian. Hold on, Brian. Go ahead, Dominique, man.
Nah, man, I just wanted to say what that brother was talking about, man, but being beat, messed up with those policemen. Look, this ain't nothing new to us. This is the way it goes, man. They beat the hell out of us, kill us, man. This is just what they do. The problem with overseas, what they do, they get paid to go over there and do this shit. That's what it's about overseas, man. They don't give a damn about home. They don't care about us, man. We don't pay nothing for them. Think about it, man. That's what
uh,
this is about. That's why we always at war with another country because we're getting paid for that. Well, we're not. People in charge are getting paid. That's all I'm saying. To think on that.
You right?
Appreciate your thoughts. I'm gonna ask you guys to mute up and what's now? I mean, why now? What's next? Will we see
I'm
peace in
gonna
the
I'm
Middle
gonna step down so you can get some more people in the line. Some
Okay,
new
will we
people.
see,
I'm gonna step
okay.
down too.
Will,
Me
will we
too.
see peace in the Middle East, or will we see more unrest and violence in the streets? I want to thank all of you that have come up on the panel. I want to remind you to do the daily hot me up there, and y'all is free to tap the screen. We got a gang of people, in the room, right now. So don't be afraid. to engage by tapping the screen, sharing the live. Want to appreciate Nas Don't Ask, for all of the sharing that he did. But Brian, we're gonna come back to you now. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, first of all, I just want to know that you have a very good show, and it's very informative, and your guest, is able to express themselves in the way that gentleman did. Okay, yeah, I don't know if, as you know, that one of the service members, right, that got killed in the the war, the Iran attack, was a black female. And I think on her Instagram, she basically had like a tag that she would die for her country. And now, like you're saying, how blacks are treated in America, and yet, we are, she was sent over there, uh, not to fight for, even though she said she will die for her country. She didn't really die for her country. She died for Israel, if you want to put it this way. Uh, in this case, what's going to happen, I think is going to happen next is that uh, Pete and Trump were taken by surprise of Iran's reaction. And I think they're going to double down and triple down because for Trump, there's no reverse gear. He basically promised that this war would be over in a short period of time and they would be victorious. If there's any indication that he would have to basically back off, or you'd have to or Iran has some upper hand in any way. He doesn't want to be how he is, right? Like I say, he's kind of narcissistic. He doesn't want to be left with a loser tag, or what they call him, tackle, right? Um, but you know, I think this thing is going to get worse. It's not going to get any better. He indicated to, I don't know if it was Fox or CNN, that he's thinking of putting boots on the ground in this conflict, and that's kind of frightening. Uh, I don't think he understands what he's dealing with. Just like he was warned that if he took the action he did recently, there would be repercussions, right? Iran is a different situation compared to Venezuela. It's a bigger country. These people are more fervent in defending their country, and they don't want anything. They're defending their sovereignty, and they see U.S. and Israel as as invaders. And if he's going to put boots on the ground, he's going to have to go for the draft because a lot of experts have indicated just for America to feel any boots on the ground for Iran, they're going to need between 700,000 to 1 million men. And 50,000, 70,000 troops, 100,000 troops is just not going to cut it. And because, as you can see, it doesn't look like they were prepared for this reaction from Iran. I don't know where he's going to come up with these numbers because I don't know what the troop levels now in the American armed forces are. But moving forward, I think he's gonna make it worse. Like I said, he's gonna think of ways to try and win this conflict, and it's not going to get any better. Uh, you know, for him, or Americans, American troops might be put in harm's way. As like I told you early this morning, the reason why the Iranian attacked those buildings or those hotels in Bahrain or Qatar is because they weren't able to move all the American troops out of the bases. So they had to put them in hotels as a temporary step. And the Iranians knew this, and that's why they attacked it. Fortunately, no one was killed or hurt. So, basically, that's what I have to say.
All right. Thank you for that. Hold on, and we're gonna have Curry and then John. But I wanted to say to what you were saying. There was a general I saw him on CNN, Steve Anderson, where he said it would take about 6 months and 500,000 boots on the ground to be successful, at doing this. So it's definitely morphing, into something more than where 47 said it was going to be 3 or 4 weeks, and we would be done. So we got Carrie, John, um, yeah, Carrie, and then John. Go ahead, Carrie. Your mic is muted if you're talking, Carrie.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Um,
Good afternoon.
okay, good afternoon to you. Yeah, I just remember like when I was a young kid, like I was a teenager, the Shah ruled in Iran and everything was peaceful and nice. And I had friends, Jubin and his family from there that had moved to England and America because, well, his dad worked for the Shah and pretty much everyone was getting killed and they had to flee. And it was not a Muslim place. It was like America. You could go to the beach and wear shorts and a t-shirt or bikini, and women could go to college and become a doctor. You could do whatever you wanted. And when the new guy took over, Ali, um, it was Muslim after that, but it wasn't before. And so, you know, a lot of people are happy about what's going on because they think things are going to go back how they were. I'm hoping that they do. Myself personally, I think it was better before. He just killed, like, I looked it up on the computer. I think he killed over 18,000 people this year because they rose up and they're against what he's doing, and he killed them. I mean, who does that? They kill their own people. I mean, that's crazy. That's terrorism. And so I feel really bad for the Iranian people that they've had to go through this.
Hey,
And I
Carrie.
hope that they.
Carrie, I'm talking to you, Carrie. I'm trying to get your attention. Can you hear me, Carrie? Carrie, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. How long have you been on TikTok, Carrie?
Couple years.
Okay, so you should know that, we say unalive. We
Oh,
don't
excuse me,
use
unalive.
the KIL word, back to back to back to back like that. Okay. So I just wanted to, bring that to your
Sorry.
attention.
Sorry. Anyways, I just feel so sad for I saw this little boy unalived, and I couldn't help myself from crying because who would do that? And he was beautiful, and I just hope that Iran can go back to a peaceful place and women are able to do what they want in college and have their rights and not have to wear the jihad or whatever you call that thing. And things go back to the way they were. And I'm hoping that what President Trump did can help them with that because I see a lot of people very happy, but I see others that are not. And I'm hoping they can pull together and, make some peace over there and get along. And it's unfortunate that this had to happen where we had to go in and do away and unalive the man ruling. But he did take over in 79. So, and before that, it was a better place to live. So I have personal friends from there and they're celebrating right now. And I'm happy for them. So.
Thank you, Carrie. Thank you for your thoughts. John Paul, what you got?
How you doing, brother?
All right.
uh, I saw this coming. This was playing out 20 years ago, the Arab Spring. So this was no shock to me. I knew they were going to do it, and I know this time around they were going to do it because they had no choice. Either it all came down to this. I'm not saying what is done was right, but it all came down either them or us. What's going to be? That was the future. Either them or us. So I got to ride with Trump on this one. Sad, but I have to ride with him. And I see who's next on the list. It's either North Korea or China. They coming next. Whoever see now that he got control of the oil, he probably gonna make a deal with Russia. Russia gonna flip on China, isolate China. China gonna crash. This snowball ain't gonna stop. I can tell you that now. Like I say, it's either North Korea or China next, but definitely one of them's got to go. I know China's going either way, one way or the other. And it's not about putting boots on the ground. It's about the people. If the people want you there, then you don't have to put boots on the ground. They'll handle that themselves. All you got to do is just give them what they need. And I see that coming. And that's what's going to take place. You might even see this in Nigeria too. Don't be surprised if you don't see this in Nigeria with the corruption. If they don't get it together, I can see this happen. And so, but definitely, this from here, I'm gonna ride with Trump on it. I know it ain't about liberating the people. I know it's about oil and maintaining YT supremacy throughout the world. I got to call it like it is. But being here in the United States, if he didn't stop that man from getting that man would have used it. As you can see right now, he would have used it. From the attacks on the bases throughout the Middle East, if he could have got his hand on that big boy, he would have sent it our way. Ain't no doubt about it. So I think this move was the best move. Now, I think people don't know China. You don't know the history of China, the humanity. So I'm riding with him on that too. They got to go too. I mean, I wish there was some counterbalance there that can keep America in check. Because once they take out the other remaining ops, they got sole power to do whatever they want to do in the world, and you're gonna see evil like you never seen it before if you don't have nobody to check them. So that's good and bad. Temporarily, best move. And like I say, you support them with the fall of China because if you don't know China humanity, God help you. They track record on humanity. During the Communist Revolution in China, let's say the Cultural Revolution, they unalived 25 million of their own people. Now you think about that, that's half of the African American population in the United States gone, wiped out. They did it in a few years. So they in Jamaica right now and places like that. You think they won't take those places if they need them? You let them get powerful enough and see what they do. So I'm trying to tell you now. I mean, it seems like this man is wicked and evil, but you got to weigh out the two evils, and I'll land on that. So good deal, Trump.
I'm sure that's gonna cause a little firestorm right here. Mel or
Yeah,
Bryant may have something to say. Go ahead, Mel.
I'm hearing hypocrisy, and not only am I hearing hypocrisy, what makes America the moral compass of the world? And not only that, we are talking about another country doing the same thing that America has been doing to us. America, this president has effectively built his own regime, these ICE agents, and put them out here in American streets, terrorizing people. So, what makes what this man is doing so great? Because I don't see it. This country, who he was in peace talks with, and from what I read, the talks were going good and to the advantage of America to keep that chemical that they need to make nuclear weapons. And they were going to have at least up to a 5 year period where they would have none. But that wasn't good enough. See, the problem with America, America has it all and America still wants it all. It's the greed of America. And it doesn't make me anti-American to stand for what's right. And see, that's the problem with most of us. Just because we're in a place doesn't make what that place is doing right. See, because right now America is at fault because this country was not a threat. They didn't have any nuclear weapons. And if America is so upstanding, why can't it conduct itself as a leader and not as a dictator itself?
All right, Brian.
Once again, democracy is a joke, and always have been a joke. Yeah, there's no such thing as a democracy. It's a smoke screen. That's all it is. I know that. I understand that. But right now, I'm in the United States. My kids are here in the United States. I'm looking out for my own first. Cause history has taught me when we went out here and tried to fight for other people, stand for other people, we ended up getting the stank end of the stick. And what ICE is doing, what those people did when they came over here, how they pushed us off of jobs, pushed us out of LA. I don't care what he do to those people. Not at all. No, sir. I'm not sticking up for nobody no more that don't have no love for us, brother. I'm sorry. Those days are gone. I never said America was an angel. Not by no means. The history of it tell you it ain't. It's rotten to the core. But I'm not fighting for other people that don't have no love for me. They rather side with my enemies than side with me, who have fought for them. They tell you what they all think about us. And you think I'm gonna get out there and fight for them? Heck no. All of them screwed us up. Look how they treat our women over there in Dubai. I mean, in the Middle East in general. They lure them over there for jobs. Then they put them in dungeons, make them work for nothing, don't pay them, and then make them eat the stink, and all kinds of just horrible things to them. And and sometimes they pay them, sometimes they don't. Give them a knockoff handbag. You think I care about what they do to those people? Those people ain't got no love for you. What we need to be doing is start getting our own science and technology and getting ourselves together and organized. Because, like I say, when they done with them, they come for us next. I already know that. We just buying time. That's all it is. And all this FBA going against Africa, all that is a division. They coming to recolonize Africa. When they done with Africa, now you ain't got no allies. They coming back for you. I'll tell you that now, and I'll land on that.
Okay, Brian, you wanna jump in there?
Yeah. Uh, I don't see the U.S. flipping Russia. That train has passed. Russia, Putin was making some effort to be part of the Western system, but apparently he was seen as an obstacle because they wanted, the West still wanted to dominate everyone, and Putin wasn't having that. But in terms of the hypocrisy, right? There's a price or cost for trying to be the world hegemon and the world police. Like I said, it's causing the deterioration of the U.S. empire, right? As I said earlier, it is they're in 36 or 37 trillion in debt. The world reserve currency position is falling. China is a new rising power, which is challenging all of that. And it is, whatever they're trying to do with Iran, as like the gentleman said, they've been saying from 1984 that Iran was close to a nuclear bomb, right? That's like close to 40 years ago. They've been saying that, and they didn't have any evidence of that. The nuclear plant, the Bashir nuclear plant, as I don't know if you guys knew this, when the Shah was in power, right? The Siemens in Germany was the one that started to build that plant in the 1970s. That's why Iran has it, right? But because someone is in or a regime is in power that they don't like, all of a sudden it's now a threat. Like they didn't think of it as a threat when the Shah was in power, but as soon as the country converted to a Muslim system, it's now become a threat. Uh, you know, if you mess with people, they're gonna mess back with you, right? It's the same thing that happened with Japan, right? Why they did Pearl Harbor. The U.S. was trying to do a naval blockade and trying, to prevent Japan from getting on the resources that they need, and that's why they had to, they did that attack. The U.S., for the longest time, right? They're not an innocent party, right? They want to dominate the Monroe Doctrine, right? Another thing that they did a false flag situation off the coast of Cuba that started the American-Spanish War, right? They falsely accused Spain of blowing up some ship off Cuba, and then they overtook the Philippines and some of Spain's former colony, right? As an indicator of that, right? They're doing the same thing here. They've been, like I said, for the last 40 years, they've been accusing Iran of developing a weapon, and to this day, they haven't shown one proof. Iran was just an obstacle to their plan. Uh, you know, uh, Israel wants to dominate the Middle East, also as the United States, right? They already had, they already corrupted the Emirates, the Gulf states, right? They already corrupted the UAE, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, right? But, Iran was having none of that. Iran, have their own sovereignty. They have their own system, and they weren't going to toe the line, right? They were always considered an obstacle and a threat. So they come up with these made up accusation of what they're planning to do. You know, according to Trump, right, just a few months ago, he said he destroyed or set back their nuclear program for 2 years after the bombing. And then a few months later, he said they were 2 weeks away from making another bomb. So they're so blatant about it, like they know that they can lie, right, blatantly and get away with it. But like I said, now they're paying a price of what's going on in the Middle East. What I'm trying to say is that there's is no reverse gear for this president and his administration. He filled his cabinet with hawks, right, with neocon hawks, and these guys wanted to do it for the longest time. Is that the previous presidents knew the line they couldn't cross, but they knew Trump would cross it because Trump has this belief that America can do anything. They're absolute, and there's no one to stop them. And like I said, the thing with Russia, like I said, Russia was trying to, be a part of their system, but apparently, Russia just didn't want to give up their sovereignty, right? So they didn't like that, so they turned against Putin. And now that Putin saw what's going on, or has an indication what's going on, now he's aligned with China, and there's no turning back. China has the manufacturing powerhouse that Russia needs. Russia has the natural resources that China needs, and there's nothing the U.S. can do about it. They're right now they're wasting their time with Iran, and China is just sitting back and watch and studying everything that's all the moves that the U.S. is doing, their vulnerabilities, and their and the type of weapon system how they work. So like I said, what I think or what I'm worried about is that Trump is just going to make things worse because, as you can see right now, the price of oil has gone up, the price of natural gas has gone up. Airlines are not able to fly in and out of the Middle East. It's causing a lot of disruptions around the world in terms of trade. As you can see in the Strait of Hormuz, the Iranian says that only Russians or the Chinese or friendly countries can pass, but no American ships or European ships is allowed to pass. As you know, they blew up three American flag oil tankers already, and one from Britain. So, and then the ships now are anchored outside and inside of of the Gulf, and it's going to cause a worldwide economic situation. And he's not really picking up on that, and we are going to pay the price soon. Like you and me, when we go to the groceries or we go put gas in our car, it's all going to lead back to what's going on in the Middle East right now.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Brian. I'm gonna reset right here. Let you know why now. What's next? AA is going to have his or her speak. Next. And you all that's on the stage, I'm just gonna ask you to tap the screen. And for all of you in the room, there's the heart me. Up there, you guys, you can follow me. If you like, we do this a little pop up right here, but we're normally on Wednesday nights or Saturday mornings. You can see it in the bio. All right, let's see. AA, go ahead.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for allowing me to speak, brother. So first of all, I want to say I am Somali, but I wasn't raised in Somalia. I was raised in the United States. Came as a child, and been here since. So I consider myself, American. I don't, even though I am Somali, my parents. But what I wanted to say about the Arab in the Middle East is that because they also have
a hand in what's going on in Africa and in Somalia in particular right now. And they are looking out for their own best interest. And what the United States is doing and Israel, I believe, is that the United States shouldn't be involved with. Shouldn't have done what they did. I think that Israel is has a obviously is has a big part to play in this, and the United States is backing Israel. Whenever there's a conflict with anybody has with Israel, United States involved themselves in it, and at the end of the day, we are impacted as citizens. It comes down to um, having an effect on us and our groceries, our rent. This is what's gonna happen at the end of the day. It's gonna affect us. So no matter what people say, I would love to see the United States just focus on the American citizens and America and building America up. You know, more jobs, helping homeless. You know, there's a lot of people, homeless people. Um, you know, just focus on building America and because the United States have given billions of dollars to Israel when Israel citizens have free education, free healthcare, and the average citizen in the United States is suffering. So I'll just land with that.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna do something different now, you all. Thank you all for coming into the live. Make sure you share the live.
I wanted something to say,
So
but that's
you
okay.
Yeah, I got you. You next. I got you coming next. Um, Share the live, you all. Look at the Daily Heart Me, up there. And for my panel that's on, the stage. And for the people that's up in the top, we got over 170 people, in the room. And at some point it was 200. You all can tap the screen. It don't hurt you. It don't cost you nothing to tap the screen. So I'm going to do something a little different. We're going to start with Dan. But for the next 30 minutes, we're going to do popcorn style. I don't know if you know what popcorn style is, but that means you're going to jump in, where you can jump in. But each speaker will have 2 minutes to speak, right? So be mindful of your time. After that 2 minutes, if somebody else jump in because you hadn't come out, just yet, I may put you on mute just so the next speaker, can speak. So kind of be mindful to get your points out, and we'll try to give everybody a chance within, the popcorn style to kind of say what you think you need to try to say what you think you need to say within that time period. So that should be a really fun and or good exercise if you all don't mind. So Dan, we're going to start with you.
Brothers, ask yourself a question. Look in the mirror and ask y'all. Look in the mirror and say, how we end up free? Real talk. Look at Bilal look at Bilal, Prophet Muhammad, the Honorable Louis Farrakhan. How he get his funding? How they get their money? Y'all looking at the puppets over there that the leaders of puppets for the white tea people. Look at the what you call it what the name is Muammar Gaddafi. Look up the history, dude. You can't say. I mean, what the Mexican do for us? What the Native American do for us? You know what I'm saying? Look at the Honorable Louis Farrakhan. How he get his funding, dude? Where he go? You know what I'm saying? We hating on the wrong people, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, the traitor number one. You know what I'm saying? They the worst enemy in the world. But guess what? The uneducated also the number three. Number two, the drug addict. The drug addict, a crazy. He tell it on mama. So y'all need to look in the mirror, man. Y'all need to self-educate and stop getting brainwashed by the propaganda, and look at how we got free, man. Look at Muhammad Ali, the greatest of all time. Look at Mike Tyson, Michael Jackson. Who gave Michael Jackson refuge? It was the Middle Eastern people. They love him. Janet Jackson. Who married Janet? It was a Prince of Saudi Arabia married Janet Jackson. They wanted the bloodline, the Michael Jackson bloodline. They said, we're going to get that bloodline. Man, they with us. Y'all tripping. I've been over there. My daddy was in Kuwait. I've been to Salam El Kuwait. I speak Arab. You know what I'm saying? I know the Quran. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Mawliki Yumadin. Iyal Kanabudu. Iyal Kanasta'in. Idina Sirat al-Mustaqim. I ain't gonna let them play me, dude. I ain't gonna let them brainwash me. See, the knowledge is a power. But see, you gotta have that unity in your heart. You gotta have that righteousness in your heart so we can all connect. But if you got a different God, you got a different belief system, and you say, well, you wrong, and well, we divided. We gotta be on one page. So please, brothers, man, y'all gotta self-educate, man, and realize, man, how we got free. What religion really made us free? What religions made us stand up to the most extremist, the most brutalist, the most vicious, the most merciless group of people in the world? These people, they ain't scared. They were dominating the world. Japan, Germany, they were not wiping people off the map in Vietnam. Who stood up to these people? Who said, no, you ain't gonna bully me? Come on, y'all. Y'all hating on the wrong one. You looking at the leaders of Saudi Arabia and all that. They puppets, man. They sell their own mamas. Man, they filth. They filth, dude. They cockroaches. We talking about, man, we talking about the people, man. Muslims, dude. Come on. Okay, but I yield my thing.
All right. So I'm gonna say this one more time, y'all. I don't know if y'all understood the rules or not, but this is gonna be popcorn style. That means an individual will have 2 minutes to speak, and should they go over, that 2 minutes, you have permission to pop in, to possibly speak off of something they said or to, add on to the discussion. And if an individual is going over that 2 minutes when somebody else pop in, I have the power to mute them, right? But if you don't want to and you want to let them, complete their thought, I'm cool with that, as well. I'm just trying to, spice it up a little bit or jazz it up a little bit. Just for about 30 minutes, and then we can go back to, our regular scheduled discussion. But, why now? What's next? Who wants to come off the mic and share their thoughts?
Let me say,
Uh,
let me
go
say
ahead.
this.
Go ahead, John.
I would never be happy that a black woman getting exploited by somebody of another so-called race. Ever, ever. That ain't no flex. Janet Jackson sold her body. That's bottom line. I don't care whether you like it or not. That's what she done for $600 million. And you think that's a flex? What those people have done to us, the Middle Eastern trade, the oppression trade that took place was worse than the transatlantic. You think I'm gonna shake hands with those people just because they wrap their head up and call me their brother? They been calling us a brother from day one, and you know what they doing when we turn our back? That ain't no flex. Get out of that, man. And all this stuff about America being broke. Are you insane? They robbed Libya gold. They robbed Afghanistan gold. They robbed Saddam Hussein gold. They ready for the gold currency. They ain't stupid. They wait playing for all this stuff that's been broke as a joke. Now they took everybody's oil. That's black gold.
And
They
the
ain't never
key
talk about this
word
stuff.
though in that phrase is take.
Stop it.
And why does America feel the need to always take? They are never diplomatic about anything. That is the problem with America. It feels like it can just take what it wants.
I'm trying to
I
find out
believe
how if my sister was Janet Jackson, I would 100% approve of her marrying a prince in Saudi Arabia. That ain't selling myself. Money talk, bullshit walk, baby. He ain't bad. He got a baby by her. He take care of the kid. He a good father. What's wrong with that? She the plant, she the earth, he the seed. I don't got no problem marrying a Muslim. Shit, bring that Muslim on. I marry a lot of them. I don't give a damn. I like what I see. So I ain't gonna discriminate against my
only a
hey
black
man.
man should be touching a black woman. Period. Only a black man should be touching a black woman. I can't believe you said that, bro.
I think John.
Yeah.
John, I understand where you're coming from. Arabs do have, so I mean, not all of them, but they do have hate towards black people.
Treat them all the same, bro. That way you
Oh,
can
they
get.
brainwash. You talking about
Treat
the
them
people
all the
that
same, so
brainwash.
you can
We
get
got
some
them
of
here.
something.
We got brainwash. We got in our own community. Brainwash people. They think they white
He
tee. They
sit
look in the mirror and
around.
say,
He sit
I
around a
support Trump.
mosque.
I'm a white tee
He
man.
sit.
I say you more BLK than me.
He sit around the mosque with some word beads with them, and they call him their brother and break a little hard bread with him, and he forget about everything they done for the last 1,400 years. Man, you slow.
I'm slow. Okay, then how the Honorable Louis Farrakhan, where he get his money at? How did he get his funding? You think the white people gave it to him?
Farrakhan don't care nothing about you. He ain't done nothing for the community. It's
Oh
his family.
shit, man. See, that's what I'm talking about, y'all. Listen to the bro. We got a problem with education in our community, dude. We got a problem with loyalty, dude. We backstab our own, dude. We backstab our own. Until we got this problem, we ain't never gonna make it. For real.
I done been through the Nation of Islam brainwashing. I'm over that too, bro. I done been through it. You get through it.
No, I ain't gonna hate my people, brother. It ain't never gonna happen.
And never been a light skinned God or YT God.
They fight
Here's
for
a
us.
black,
They fought for us since they
here's a
started.
black man
Since
calling
the
himself
conception
a
of
leader of a black
the
nation.
nation, they've been fighting
He
for us.
worshipping
And you over there
a
talking about
biracial
they
man,
don't give a shit about.
Farad Muhammad, a biracial man. He worshiping him. Come on, man, that don't make sense. You say the black man is God, then you turn around and worship a biracial man as God. Come on, man. Wake up from Nation of Islam, bro. Wise up.
Hey man,
Nation
this
of
hurt
light
me
skin.
bad. This make me
All
want
the
to cry.
hierarchy is light skin. Nation of light skin.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know what y'all think. Y'all want to run popcorn a little bit more?
The Honorable Louis Farrakhan,
Yeah, yeah.
he gave us knowledge, dude. That knowledge, hey man, that's power.
That man enriched his family. His children married to YT people. Come on, man. Stop it,
He
bro.
a
Tell me that
leader,
he ain't
dude. That's
right.
what leaders do.
Nah. A
Leaders
true
ain't
leader,
they ain't
children,
followers, they
if
leaders,
his
man.
children don't believe in him, who else gonna believe in him? If his own
He a
kids don't believe.
leader, dude.
Wake up, bro.
Damn. So you gonna treat a leader like that?
His son is married to a YT woman, bro.
He
Stop
put his life on the line for us, dude.
it. He ain't doing no
He
enriching his
got a
family.
bullseye on his back because of
If
us.
they thought he gonna really do something, they'd have been to wipe them out. They wiped out a Saddam Hussein who had a 1 million man army. What do you think they could do to Farrakhan? They felt like he was a threat. Come on, man, stop it.
See,
He
that's the
ain't no
problem with
threat.
our community, y'all.
They know he ain't gonna do nothing. Stop it. Wake up from that dream, bro. America's not broke. Never have been broke. Never will be broke. That's all propaganda. That's just another way of raising taxes. Scare tactics. Oh, we going broke? Then they jack up the gas prices, and they get them more money they charge for gas, more taxes they collect. Same for food.
See, the
It's all
thing
a
is, they
game, bro.
print money on a piece of paper backed by
It's
nothing.
all a game,
And
bro. It is
Muammar
backed by something.
Gaddafi,
I just told
Muammar
you they took
Gaddafi,
Gaddafi gold. They took Afghanistan gold. They took Saddam Hussein gold. They took Haiti's gold. They got plenty of gold, man. Wake up. And they still taking gold on the low.
say so. What happened was this a history behind. See,
Bro, you
what we do, we
slow,
talk.
bro.
I see what it is. We talking out of context. There's a history behind all this. Muammar Gaddafi was gonna make real currency, which is gold. That's what the Bible say. That's all in
Don't care
all
nothing about
Abraham's
you,
faith.
bro.
Gold, real money.
Gaddafi. You heard? Did you go back and listen to Gaddafi? What Gaddafi was doing? He was using Africans as pawns. Whenever he didn't get what he want, he flooded Europe with Africans. He told them, if y'all don't give me what I want, I'm gonna turn Europe black. I'm gonna flood it with so many Africans until it turned black. Whenever they
What's
gave him
wrong
what
with
he
that?
wanted,
What's wrong
hold
with
on.
that?
Let me explain something to you, brother. Whenever they didn't give him what he wanted, he stopped them from going. That clearly tell you somebody they want somebody for you. They were just using you. That man ain't care nothing about no black folks. Never have, never will. It was all a game.
See,
They
this is a
power
problem
in
we got, dude.
the
This is
Middle
a
East.
big problem. Hey, man, we ain't never gonna make it with this kind of
Every
ideology,
time
with this
somebody
kind
give
of
you some
mentality.
dollars,
This
every
kind of
time somebody
mentality,
give
we
you
ain't
some
gonna make it,
dollars, you
y'all.
think they're your friend. Every time somebody give you a few little dollars, you think they're your friend. That's
We
just
ain't
a
never gonna
game,
make it
bro.
with this
Wake up.
mentality, brothers. We ain't never gonna make it.
I tell you, bro, you got a lot to learn, bro. Keep studying.
All right. So we're gonna put it on pause, right here for a minute with the popcorn style. We're gonna go back to some decorum and get back on topic. Why? Why now? What's next? Will there be peace in the Middle East, or will there be unrest and violence in the street? Teody, I think you're up next, Teody. If you wanted to respond to that, and then we got simply left. All right, so Teody, you up next.
How you doing, my brother? Good to see you. Great topic. I'm a little taken aback by some of the comments I've heard, but I would think since the Middle East was created with the part of it, at least with the Balfour Agreement with Lord Rothschild and Balfour, it's all staged, in my opinion, and they're just really managing their own investment in creating the Middle East because it's nebulous, kind of like the label black, colored, Negro. The Middle East is like the jazz song compared to what? Like the Middle East could be anywhere relative to where you're standing and who's saying it. And so it's nebulous and it's a creation that they did in order to control their investment in that region for the oil and for control over that strategic region militarily. And so I think the reason now is because the Saudis were pulling out of the petrodollar or trying to. And I think this is all about that.
Okay. Brian,
He's
uh,
right. That's what it's about. It's about the money. The Armor Louis Farrakhan was talking about that for years. Cause that dollar, see what they doing? They just print paper. They just put a number in a computer and they got the money. See that's a ban in Islam. That's called the corrupter of the earth, the polluter of the earth. When you go into a bazaar, they call it a bazaar, a marketplace. If you selling eggs at a common price, a normal price, right? You being fair, and I undercut you, and I sell your eggs for like 10 cents a egg. When you selling for $1 or 5 cents an egg, and then you go out of business, then I go up on the rate, and I go up to $5 an egg. See, that's called corrupter of the earth. And they've been doing this shit for thousands of years. That's how I learned all that. I went and studied Islam. And I said, okay, now I see what they up to. Now I understand what's going on. You got to get an education, y'all. You got to study. The brother right. They trying to undercut that dollar bill because cause they just print the money out, man. Everybody accept it. They give you oil for it. See, oil energy. Oil gonna make your country what you need. You give you electricity, all that other stuff. Now, when you go over there, you say, well, hell, I can't accept that dollar no more because this is paper. I need some real currency. You got gold, you got silver. You know what I'm saying? What could you bring to the table? That's what China and Russia's trying to do with Iran and Gaddafi. You know what I'm saying? And Syria. You know, Venezuela. They got the oil,
China's
man. They
a
got the
joke, bro.
resources.
China's a joke. Always have been a joke.
See, man, we
Uh,
we we done, dog. Hey, man,
but
forget it.
yeah,
Hey, so
y'all keep
everything.
calling for China
So
propaganda.
I guess Muhammad Ali was wrong. I guess Michael Jackson was wrong. I guess Mike Tyson was wrong. I guess all these brothers are wrong, huh? Yeah, they all wrong, ain't they?
You see, China got out of Iran when the United States showed up. They know what the United States capable of doing, man, with them,
Hey,
bro.
man, Iran holding
They
their
got
own.
to.
Iran holding their
China's
own.
a joke, bro.
Hey,
China's a
Taliban
joke.
holding their own too. You know what I'm saying? These
All of
Muslims
them a
holding their
joke. This
own.
whole thing was planned out, bro. This whole thing was planned.
See, man, see, that's why I say the
Chaos make
unbeliever.
money, bro. There ain't
Hey,
no
let me
money
tell you
in
something,
peace.
brother.
Ain't no money in peace, bro. It's a capitalist society.
all right. So I just want to say this, guys. I had to put both of you on mute because now we're back. We're back at some decorum, and just want you guys to try to be respectful when an individual is talking, trying to get their thought out. We want to hear what they have to say. Just exercise a little bit of patience.
Am I
Then
doing
you can.
something? If I'm doing something wrong, tell me. I need to learn because I don't know the TikTok etiquette myself. So if I'm doing something wrong, tell me. I don't got no problem with it.
All right. So one thing you're doing wrong is you coming off the mic, while I'm talking. So just be on mute when you do talk. All we're trying to say is let people say what they have to say, right now. And once they get finished, then we'll call, for
Okay,
someone.
allow me to respond to that. I can't sleep, brother. I'm gonna be straight with you. I swear on my life. I swear on my life, I can't sleep. So I ain't see you take me off the mute. I got a habit of putting myself on mute because of the echo, the reverb. I got some kind of reverb going on. That's why I put myself on mute. I'm gonna be
Okay.
real with you.
I can understand that. All right. So, but you all, we want to practice a little bit of decorum. And when we see someone is talking, kind of let them have their say. And if you want to rebuttal, make your notes. And, I'll call on you, or you can pop something in the post, saying, you want to speak if you don't feel like I'm seeing you, and then I can bring you up. But let's see, Bryant or AA haven't spoken in a while. They may have something they want to add.
Yeah. Well, speaking about printing money, I, I mean, there's no that there's nothing good printing money that comes out of printing money because it's all it's going to do is going to, basically devalue your currency and it's going to cause inflation and stuff like that. Don't forget that the U.S. Came off the gold standard, Mitch took America off the gold standard in the 70s, and now it's fiat currency backed by nothing, right? As an example, when they tried to sanction Russia, right? Impose severe sanction in Russia. And I remember when Biden at the State of the Union said that, hey, the Russian economy is tanking and the ruble is starting to rubble. Within like a month or two after he made that speech, the ruble became the world's most bought currency, right? Rise in value. Why? Because Russia had things that people need. Uh, you might have the money, but money can't make natural resources. It can't make iron ore. It can't make platinum, right? Russia has all of that, and people need that, and they're willing to, get that currency to purchase those items. Printing money or having money doesn't mean a lot, right? So U.S. has nothing to back up their currency, right? Like I said, except for the fact that the U.S. Um, the U.S. currency is the world reserve currency, or it used to dominate, but it's losing that dominance slowly because a lot of countries now are starting to de-dollarize, right? They weaponize the dollar and the financial system, and China at one time was the largest holder of U.S. debt, and they're slowly selling it every month. They're getting a few billions here or there, right? And slowly get rid of it because they don't see no value in holding the U.S. dollar anymore. That's what the U.S. is living on, and that's what they're trying to prevent, and that's what they're trying hard. Like going after Venezuela, or for example, it's just like it's like a little sneak attack. We all know what they're doing. A lot of these moves is try and stop China, right? China used to get cheap oil from Venezuela, and a lot of oil from uh, Iran goes to China. So so they succeeded in one part in taking over Venezuela oil industry. So they kind of locked China out of that. By taking over Iran or trying to regime change, they would come in and then they would cut that flow of oil to China. So all of this thing here, it's all about maintaining the U.S. hegemony with their dollar system. You know what I mean? They're printing money. That's what got them into trouble with their deficit keeps going up. They keep printing money. When Biden came to power, he printed money. Like he went to the press and started printing money. And guess what happened? The inflation started to go up. People started to hurt. Right. That's one of the reasons he's out of power. Right. He wasn't paying attention to the local issues. He was, sending 200 to $300 billion to Ukraine. That's all that money. You don't know where that money is going. Some of that money returns to the U.S. and it goes to the military-industrial complex and to some sectors and all that. It doesn't benefit the average Americans. So this is all about maintaining, as they say, the grift, right? Going into Iran, trying to control, also trying to control, stop the bleeding of their we call reserve currency losing its position in the world. So, you know what I mean? Like I said before, man, it can't be stopped. It's already, America, you have to admit, America is a dying empire. You know what I mean? It's not what it used to be. It's going to continue going down. It's not going to happen tomorrow or maybe the next 6 or 7 years, but it's going to happen. Every empire falls, right? But America is just not going down quietly, right? They will go down fighting, and that's why they're creating so much turmoil and events around the globe. And China, like I said, China is having none of that, right? China basically told the United States that we went through 100 years of humiliation, and we will die first, or burn the earth down before you make us be subservient to you anymore. So there you go, man. Like they're fighting a losing battle, and like I said, they're caught up with Iran, and nothing is going well. Like I said, all these moves, especially having a proxy war in Ukraine and situation in Iran, it's benefiting China. China is just starting by the wayside, while America's you know slowly getting weaker, and China is getting stronger. Like I said, they have more markets. Their military industrial complex is getting stronger. They did some war games, right, regarding Taiwan. If the Americans tried to defend Taiwan, and in every single scenario, the Chinese sunk every single American ship. So you know what I mean? They're just fighting a losing battle, and they just have to accept that they're no longer going to be as dominant as they were before.
So we're gonna let D. D just came up, and then we're gonna have Bill. Bill going come on after D. Hey D. Why now? What's next?
What's up? Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
So I've been listening, and I feel like a lot of things people are saying is, on one end, we want to protect home and then not go and invade and try to take over other places. But also what I'm seeing and hearing is, war is money. So, war is money. Whenever you start a war, that's where you see money coming from. And a lot of the things that I feel like us Americans we don't look at is that the people at the top, they're puppets. They're controlled. And if you don't have an eye to see what's going on, you're going to be blindsided by all the propaganda and all the things that are shown on the news. For instance, I'm a black man. My girlfriend is Arab. She's from Syria, and she was raised here in America. She had a prominent grandfather in the Syrian army. So, her mom was raised in Syria. When I sit down and I talk to her mom, because she's a Muslim lady, she just tells me little stuff of, how the American news they show you these things, but then when she watches the news and she translates and says little stuff, it's totally different. So what we see a lot of times is not really what's real over there. They're trying to get us so brainwashed into think certain things that are happening and they're not. It's just like when we're sitting here in America right now, like one of the biggest things that's going on that we've been hearing about is the files. And then all of a sudden, what they do is they put something else in front of you to distract you from what the truth is. And whenever they distract you from what the truth is, you're not able to fully get a grasp of what's really going on. It just, go from this thing to the next thing to this thing to the next thing. And you're confused. We've just had a whole lot of stuff going on, whether it's Venezuela, whether it's the killing of the unaliving of, the Mexican cartel leaders. There's all this just different stuff to get you so caught up in to something negative. And part of it, that's what it's trying to put onto your brain of negative, being negative. If we're going to be, part of it is that people have to understand, and I heard some of the guys say, love. Well, when it comes to love, it's about loving everybody. It's not, just love black person or YT person. It's literally love. Love yourself first and foremost to where you'll love everybody, your neighbor. And if more people understood what love was, we wouldn't be fighting at all. And the ones who are evil, who are trying to do all these things, we would be going against that. Evil never prevails whenever it's love. And I think that's one of the biggest things that we have to understand as a whole. Like we bleed the same, we get up, we do everything the same. We just have different shapes of life and we come from different places to where at the end of the day, sometimes it gets convoluted in what you learn and how you educate yourself and how you see the world. Me as a black man, I've been beat up by police just like Buddy said. But does that make me look at all YT people or all police officers or all these type of people in one type of way because I had a couple negative, you know, interactions. That's not how it goes. So again, it's I'm hearing everybody, and Brian, I've been hearing you cook. John, I've heard you cook too. Um, and I've also heard Dan or whatever his name
Defund the
cook.
police. Defund the police.
But I understand that. But if we defund the police, if we take away certain things, then what is it gonna do? I could sit here and say, well, if we do certain things, we have a group of just Americans, because this is where we live, that they're not educated. So they do everything. So when we talk about crime and stats, the stats lie. Women lie, men lie, numbers don't lie, right? That's what they say. But at the end of the day, when we have a group of people who are just going around killing their own, but part of that is it's being perpetuated because that's what these puppets are giving them. They're not giving certain people ways out of their struggle, and they're making it harder for people to succeed. And then they're trying to tell you that at the end of the day, what you have to do is, go to college, go do these things. And yeah, I'm a college graduate. I went to Duke University. But part of that is you still got loans, you still going to school, you still not getting a job, you still not getting these things because now there's already a framework, there's already a structure, and it doesn't matter sometimes what you do. But when you really go outside of some of these and you listen to older guys, women, and you put yourself in different spaces other than sometimes your own communities, you're able to get a different outlook to where that's part of you educating yourself and actually learning something that, guess what, is not in a textbook. And we see how these textbooks, they don't talk about slavery, they don't talk about these things. It's an agenda, and part of that agenda is for a certain type of people. Like somebody said, I say that's the thumbs in your backside. That there's an agenda going on. That's just what it is. I'm gonna be quiet for right now.
Okay, we got Billy. Billy, you on? Or Bill Camp, or who was that? Yeah, Bill Campbell, you on? Your mic on mute if you're talking.
Yep, sorry about that.
Okay.
So I'm from California, and you know they talk about, from what I've heard, the so-called um, invasion of Taiwan that we lose. That's not happening. Secondly, everybody complains about no kings and all this stuff. Yet when he goes out and kills somebody that's killing their people for protesting.
All right, Bill. I had to put you on mute, Bill.
Yes, I forgot. I'm sorry, I forgot. Unaliving.
Okay, go ahead,
Sorry.
Bill.
Well, he's unaliving people for protesting, or he takes out the head of Venezuela for uh, doing narcotics and doing other illegal stuff. Everybody starts complaining about it. But yet, the people from Iran, I have friends that are Iranian. They're celebrating this because now they can start to be free, and they're not under the Islamic rule that they were under. People from Venezuela, some of my family members, they sit there and they celebrated it because of what was going on in Venezuela. But yet Trump derangement syndrome. It was, it's the end of the world. And no, actually, here, some education. Trump made the U.S. stronger by cutting off fuel in illegal gas sales and oil sales to China. The second one right here, where he's shutting off Iran, is going to again shut off fuel flow to China, which then they'll be able to turn around and be able to sell because they're no longer under a Islamic regime. They'll be able to sell oil, and all the sanctions will get lifted because they're not killing their people and they're not screaming death to America every 5 seconds. I mean, you got to look at the overall picture and not look at just because Trump did it, you hate him. I mean, at some point, you have to educate yourself and look outside of what CNN and them are telling you, right? Because the mainstream media is so like corrupt and lies and stuff. And then the other comment I heard is, "Oh, they're just doing that because it's wag the dog because of the Epstein files." I'm sorry, Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, Jeffrey is in Jeffrey Epstein's. Bill Gates simulated. Nobody's saying nothing about Bill
That's
Gates
misinformation, brother.
simulating. No, it's not. It's facts. I've read the reports.
Obama is
Stop
not in
watching
the
CNN.
files.
He
Obama
was
is
there.
not
He
in the
was in the
files.
files.
Hold
Go
on, Mel.
read.
Hold
Go.
on,
I
Mel.
know it's a huge. Well, here, Hakeem Jeffries is in the files. They got pictures of the two together. Don't want to hear about that either, huh? I mean, it's go do a little education and stop watching what CNN's telling you. Even CNN exonerated Trump because they sat there and they said, "Well, he's not in there like we thought he would be." You know, the stuff that they sat there and they said, "Oh no, you got this and this." When you go and you read the file, it states that the sources were uncredible and they couldn't find the witnesses or the victims. And even the victims that did testify sat there and said, "No, Trump was never on the island and never did anything perverted with young minors." But
Okay.
yet Bill Clinton comes in today. "Oh, I don't know what you're talking about," and everybody accepts it. And he got pictures of him in hot tubs of young girls.
You
Okay.
brainwashed, dog. You brainwashed, sir.
Hold on. Mel, I think you want to rebuttal. Mel, go ahead.
I just
This is the
wanted,
guy that goes
I
defund
just
the
wanted
police.
to
Well, who's
make
going to
the
show up when
point
someone breaks into your
that
house?
Hold on, Bill. We
I
My
want
family
Bill.
have
will. I don't need no damn white tea people in my community. My own family can.
Hold on.
I
Y'all.
have read through the
That's pretty
files,
racist.
and Obama's name is not mentioned in the files. And let's just be real. If his name had been mentioned in the files, it'd be all over every news station right now, 24/7. So
They're not going to
if
say anything.
if you're going, there's no
They're never going to
problem with
say
the,
anything against
if
Obama.
see this is the thing about you Trump supporters. Y'all don't ever want to let people finish their thoughts, but you want everybody to listen to what you have to say. So I'm fixing to land my plane with this, and then you can have it. Because, like I was saying, if his name was in the files, it'd be all over the place. Let's focus on the thing that's really the issue with that whole scenario. Children are involved, and I don't care who it was, Democrat, Republican, none of that matters when you are uh, messing with kids. Period. So kill the argument trying to make everybody look like your president looks.
Listen, can I say something?
Well, hold on. We got Robert. Robert is new up on the stage. Robert, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Why now? What's next?
Well, I would say from what the deal was supposed to be from when Donald Trump was doing his dealings with Putin is that the world is going to be split up. So it's like, America or the United States Incorporated will be taking the West Hemisphere, and then Russia will be taking Russia in Europe, the peninsula of Europe, China taking taking a whole of huge parts of Asia, and Africa being split up by the three, right? Um, I think what we're gonna see, probably what we'll probably see happen next is I would say with what we see going on with Iran protecting itself pretty much as far as from how can I say I can't really say it on here, but they protecting themselves from the Jays. Let me say it like that. Protected, because what people got to understand that the stuff that has happened right now that we see going on in Iran, that's not so much as a call from the United States Incorporated. That's a call from their, how can I say, from their mother corporation, which in this particular instance would be Israel. And so what we would probably see next is probably a little bit more escalation, I would think. And that, and obviously because of what, we see one whole country who actually has capability, they have in capability, if you know what I'm saying. I don't know if I can say that on here, but NUC, nuke, they have that type of capability. And so I would think it'd be probably a little bit more escalation as they try to carve the planet up into hemispheres. That's what I truly think would probably happen. I don't think that we'll see like a WW3 like right away. I think we'll see just a little bit more of a kind of back and forth with Iran and Israel. And I would say Iran for the Iberian Peninsula, as we know. They've had a little bit of hand since we came out of Iraq and being able to control that. So I would think we'll see just a little bit more escalation. I know when I was over in Iraq as a Marine, I did 8 years in the Marine Corps, and I was out in Iraq. And I know then we was doing our best to keep Iran from controlling the Iberian Peninsula, right? And I don't think that Israel is going to I think that Israel is going to be toppled as a British state because, as we know, it's the Balfour Document that helped them, take the land from those people and set up. This is why I call it a British state, because it's the British hand in the back, the British shadow gov in the back that actually created what we call Israel. And like I said, right now we see the hemispheres being the hemispheres along with the major world powers and their major subcategory allies. We see them chopping up the hemisphere, and that's what's going on. And I just think it'll be escalated as they continue.
Hey,
Let me
brother, thank you
let me
for
say
your
this.
service. Thank you
Let me
for your service, brother.
let me
Hey,
say
you
this.
know it, family.
Let me say this. At the end of the day, I don't care how you look at it. It's about, I don't care if you get mad with me, but I stand on business. It's about why. It's about YT supremacy worldwide. They're not gonna let
Facts.
China.
That's
They're not
facts.
gonna let China become a superpower. You can get that out your head. For Russia and the United States do that, they'll team up against them at the end of the day. And you see, and you got to understand. You got to understand the history of them. If YT people lose their power, they got to face justice, and they're not willing to face justice because they can't survive facing justice. So at the end of the day, they will all come together to bring China down. China's not going to run this world. They might let them control the Asia. They might let them be the big brother over there. They might let them be it. But they not going to take this planet. You forget about that. United States got weapons you can't even dream of. I keep telling y'all that. This whole thing is a joke. I don't know why y'all don't get it. They in control of this world.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't
Hey,
say that
brother. Hey,
China.
brother. Hey, China got weapons too. They got bacteria. They
China ain't
got
got nothing.
chemical.
China ain't
They
got
got
nothing.
nuclear. They got weapons too.
China ain't got nothing. It's all propaganda, man. Most of that stuff is
Nah, I would.
cardboard.
Hey, as a Marine,
Most
I
of it's
would definitely.
cardboard.
Hey, as a Marine brother, I would definitely not say that China does not
Well,
have anything.
most people in the
I mean, for
military,
years,
most
I
people in the
remember. I
military are just
remember when I was
puppets.
stationed out in Stuttgart, Germany, brother, and we had all kind of dealings with just
Everybody
doing
worry
our,
about no China.
intel wise, doing our best to just see, at a scratch of the surface is what these guys create. I mean, these guys got underground cities full of stuff you ain't never heard of. So I wouldn't want to poke the sleeping bear too hard, but
You
I
think
would
United States?
and I wouldn't say that I wouldn't be so quick to say. I mean, yeah, YT superiority has a little bit to do with that, but when you start to understand the J superiority, right? When you start to understand that right there, if you ask me, it trumps WYT superiority because they don't even like them. They see them all as going. And this is why you see Israel telling China, and you're right, they may not want. I'm not even gonna say that China to me is a superpower now because everybody needs China. Whether it's something that you get from China, a service or something that's being made, um, China is definitely, they definitely are a superpower that has um a massive military and massive technology. I'm not gonna say it's completely about WYT supremacy. In this right here, in what you see in this taking hold on the world, this is gonna be a fight for everybody's supremacy, whether that's the supremacy of the Aboriginal American, whether it's the supremacy of the country of Russia, or and vice versa, because we're living in a world that's in a fallen states everywhere. So in the end, everybody gonna have to fight for their own supremacy, or they'll be vacuumed up into the anchor countries, like the bigger countries that we're talking about, that are so-called first world powers or world powers, right? So it won't just be about WYT supremacy. It's going to be about J supremacy. It'll be about the supremacy of Russia. It'll be about the supremacy of China. It'll be about the supremacy of technology and how it's used in different places in different countries. I agree with you, but it's not just WYT supremacy. It's going to end up being a fight for survival. If it spill out and get too nasty, it's going to be a fight in survival and supremacy for everybody.
I gotta ask you a question. Robert Mitchell, did you know that Iran could put up could defend himself like this? Because I knew it. I knew it from
Yes,
the
sir, I
get. I
did.
say
Yes, sir, I
Iran
did know that.
they could pack
Yes,
a
sir.
punch.
Yes, sir, I did know that. Matter of fact, I never knew that until my first duty station, which was out in Stuttgart, Germany. My actual title was administration, but because the type of duty station it was over there, I was with the operations office doing administration. So I had a clearance, like a secret clearance. So they got what they call like the SIPRNet and the NIPRNet, and the SIPRNet is for information that comes through that is on the level of secret, right? And yo, let me tell you, man, like yo, they got see the thing about Iran, Persia, they haven't attacked anybody for a long time, and all they've been doing over there is developing. Am I allowed to say NUC? You know what, like nuclear?
I've heard people say it.
I can say that here on your forum.
I mean, I've heard
Just say
people
the
say
big
Iran
M.
You
Iran Iran haven't
Say the big
attacked
M. We know
nobody
what you're
though.
talking about. Just
Iran
say the
haven't
big
attacked
M.
nobody. Iran don't got a history of attacking people. They haven't
That's
attacked
right.
nobody.
That's right. They've been, and see the thing about them, they're also dealing with the Mossad. They're dealing with spies and everything within their own regime. But I will tell you this much.
Traitors, snitches, and traitors.
Yeah, I will tell you this much about them. No, they 100%, and I'm talking like years, because when I first went to Germany, that was in 2001. So that's when I found out about the stockpiles that they had. Yo, they got like undergrounds, like cities and cities of this stuff, like all these other countries do. But these guys right here, Persia, it's different. They've actually mastered the technique of dealing with NUC lore, nuclear. You know what I'm saying? They've got that science, and they've got it down to a T. And this is why we can see right now they not really like right now, like those hyperballistic supersonic missiles that y'all see going, that ain't nothing for them. That ain't nothing for those guys. Like they got they got a bunch of that. You know what I'm saying? But they got stuff that's way worse than that. And they also got artillery. It hit just like nuclear warfare, but it's not even nuclear, that they got from Russia. So
You think we ain't got it? You think we ain't ready? You think we
I'm
Who
not
not
we?
ready?
saying
Who
I'm
we?
not
Hey,
I'm
who
not saying
we?
I'm not
I
saying that
want to
we
know who
not
we
ready. I'm
is.
not I'm not saying that we not ready as a country, but I'll tell
Oh,
you
come
like
on,
this,
man.
sir.
You
I'll
I
tell
dragging
you
want to
this
like
know
this
who
fool.
we
from
is.
I'll tell you like this from being in war, right? From just being there. If it doesn't matter, if one NUC, y'all know what, was to break the sky and hit any state out here, it's gonna cause pandemonium in every state. So
And that's
don't
gonna
we
be
know
Iran gonna be
we
an
wanna
ashtray less than 15 minutes. I can
yeah,
guarantee you that.
we want
Less
to
than
we want to
15
we
minutes,
want to we want
that
to push
whole place
for
will be an
no war
ashtray.
on the planet, because I don't know if anybody on this feed has been to war outside of myself, but war is good for nobody, and we want to do our best to push for it not to occur, because if oh my gosh, it don't matter who out here in their country, these leaders, I don't know if y'all know what the heat index is, but if somebody shoot off one nuke, it sets off the heat index, and when it sets off the heat index, all of the pre-coded, predestined countries that got nukes, theirs go off right away. I don't know if y'all know that or not, but most people who in the military who know who's in that field or anything with dealing with that type of stuff, you know that when you're dealing with nuclear warfare, if one country set off one of their nukes, it sets off the heat index. And when it sets off the heat index, all the other countries around the world that got nukes, they automatically go off. And those are the ones that already got predestinations. So we want to be pushing for peace. But at the same time,
I
we
want the
gotta, as a
fall of
nation of
Iran.
people,
I don't care nothing for them people
Hey,
because they don't care nothing for my
man,
people.
you gotta care about people, man.
They
We
don't
all
care nothing
bleed
for our
blood,
people.
brother.
They never did. They never will. If they did, Africa would be in the predicament they're in. We would be in the predicament we're in. They don't care nothing about you, bro.
okay, let them
Screw
turn it
those
into an
people.
ashtray and see what happens.
Screw
See,
those
I
the
tell
people.
you,
thing is, they honored by that. It's an
I
honor
tell you
for
like
them
this.
it's an honor to them for that be unalive for their
Yeah,
religion.
for real, for real, for real. Like I would say it like this: we can't say that everybody feels like Anatoly Khomeini, right? And if you understand who Anatoly Khomeini is, then you'll understand who the Shah is. If you understand how the Shah got there, what I'm telling y'all about is Iranian leaders, right? I'm not saying that everybody feels the way the Shah feels or everybody feels the way that Anatoly Khomeini feels. I'm not. We can't generalize. We should be looking for peace on the planet. It shouldn't be like, oh yeah, we want somebody to get
Screw those
cremated and
people.
blowed off the
Screw
planet
them.
because it could happen to us here as well.
But
And
show, we need
it's not.
allies, dude. He trying to make
Yeah.
enemies.
Our Arabs are unaliving people in Sudan. Black people
Iran
in Sudan.
ain't Arab. Arab and
Hold on,
Iranian
brother.
two different people.
Hold on. They all the same. Let, let,
Let's
let me
give
say
John a
this.
chance. Let's give John a chance to speak. Go ahead, John.
Ain't no Persians, no Iranians stepped up, no Saudi Arabians stepped up, no Kuwaitis stepped, no Iraqis stepped up and say, look, stop unaliving those black people in Sudan. Because that's what they want. They want to take over Africa. They want to push Islam to
Dude,
Africa and make it
Sudan
black
is
first. Let me
Iran sending
finish,
them
brother. Let
weapons.
me
What you
finish,
talking
brother.
about?
Let me finish. What I'm telling you, those people got no love for you. Quit loving people that don't love you. You're like a battered wife, man. You still trying to get your husband to love you when they don't love you. And all you're going to do is get beat up more and more. Stop it. Wake up. Get over it. And number one, have you ever heard him come out? The first convert to Islam was a black woman, Khadijah, Muhammad's wife. You never heard none of those Arabs come out and admit that and say that because they're not for you. They don't care nothing for you. They can't
Man,
stand you. They
35%
never
of
did. They
Arabs
never
are
will.
black people.
So screw those people. Screw YT people. Screw everybody. If you ain't black, screw them. Everything else is business. All we have to look at the whole world as business. Business ain't personal. What can you do for me? What can I do for you? Nothing but trade. That's it.
Woo,
No
boy, we
love.
lost.
No
We
love,
lost,
brother.
brother.
Wake up from the
That
that
ain't,
dream, brother.
bro, that ain't how the planet works. The planet
I'm
work on
sorry. That's why
balance.
we stand on the bottom
The
because
the
we
the,
ain't figured out how it
when we
works
look,
yet.
when you look at the
That's why
laws,
we on the bottom.
if you look at the laws of Mayat,
That's what we are.
the
Come on, brother. Come on.
world is based on balance, sir. And yeah,
It's off balance because we at the bottom.
we're not trying to act like a battered wife. All we're
That's
saying
what you
is that
acting like.
all no, we're not. That's
You
just
in
your
love with the man who
opinion.
beating on you.
No, listen, sir. This all I'm saying, All I'm saying is this right here, and with all due respect, because you're an elder, this is all I'm saying. We have to constitute some kind of balance. We don't
I
have to
just told
care.
you business. Business ain't personal. Keep
I
it business.
understand that, but this all I'm saying. Just hear me out, This all I'm saying. I get what you're saying. Yes, we need to be dealing with them on a level of business. I get what you're saying, but in this particular instance, right now, where the world could actually, implode into something we don't want it to be, we gotta understand that there are different people, whether we care about them or not, that control certain stuff here on the planet in different regions in different areas, and those things actually affect us here, affect people in Europe, affect people in Asia, Africa, worldwide. So if
You the only
we
one
as
thinking like that, brother. They don't think like that. If they
it,
thought like that, they would empower Africa.
we
Let
They
me tell you
look,
what
doing
they
it,
empower.
dude. They
Hold
are
on. Let me
doing
finish.
it.
No, they not. No, they not.
Yes, they
Hold
is.
on.
Look up Nigeria. Look up the
Hold
Shia
on, brother.
Mullah in
Nigeria
Nigeria.
empowering
Look up the
itself.
Shias in Afghanistan. The
Come on.
Shias in Pakistan. The Shias in India. The Shias in China. The Shias in America.
All right, I
What you
got to
talking
jump
about,
in here,
dog?
you all. I got to jump in here. Gwen, we got Gwen. She back. Gwen, I'm tired, Gwen. They trying me, Gwen. I'm trying to keep the stage with some decorum, and they just don't wanna do right. They trying me, Gwen. I'm tired. So come
Well, I
on,
think you
Gwen.
just have some very strong opinions because I'm hearing some good points
What you
from
talking about?
everybody.
We gonna turn them into an ashtray. What we you talking about? What we are you talking about, dude? They ain't on our side.
See, see, Gwen. They fired up. Hold on.
The thing that people need to remember, though, why do we keep depending on the people that are oppressed in this world to save us? It's not going to happen. They don't have our interest at heart. That gentleman referenced those people in Sudan. You know, they are being taken out, not just them. And these are innocent, poor people. What have they done other than just be poor? Because they want their land, so they're willing to take it by violence. These are the things that are going to, just like that man that got killed, that leader over there. So yeah, those Iranians, they're mad about that too. They just had his burial service. I saw on the internet yesterday, and after that, it's going to turn to wrath. There's a lot of cells that are here within the United States because we let everybody in here. They destroy their lands, and then they say, "Well, we'll let you come over for a political asylum." So they got Iranians over in this country, Afghanistan people over in this country. They don't want to let people from Cuba and other places come into the land, but they let people from the war over there with Russia and them other people come over here. So those people that are that Iranians, like I said, they're cells all throughout. So I'm gonna just let it unfold because what are we gonna do? What our leaders are the ones orchestrating all of this. I just tell people to stay prayed up and get right with Jesus because our oppressors, they don't have our best interests at heart. They don't want to pay for the things in Africa. They want all of the resources over there for free,
That's
and
why
they're
they
willing
cause
to
the
take it by
division.
violence.
That's why they
All right.
cause the
Well,
division.
we got Enon is new to the stage. Let's get Enon. Let's hear his or her opinion. Enon. All right, you're on mute. 3, Enon. 2, Enon. Take yourself off of mute. 1, Enon don't know how to work the mute. You all.
No, this ain't even our land. This is Native American land.
Nah,
Uh,
it ain't Native American land. They Johnny come latelys. They not us. They not the Aboriginals. They was
Oh, I
sent
That
know.
over.
man don't know nothing,
This
bro.
Africa.
That's why you don't see. I quit arguing with him. Man. He don't know nothing.
I know what it is. This originally ours. Jesus will BLK. I already know.
okay. Well, I'm gonna take this little break right here because I'm tired, y'all. We've been doing this since early this morning, and I had a little break. So we're gonna do a part 3. Later on. I appreciate you all for coming on the stage. Make sure you follow. Make sure you follow me, and when I come back on, you'll get the notice. But I need to get some rest. I need to get something to eat, and enjoy the rest of my day. Enjoy the rest of your day. Any last words, you all? Any last
I
words
want to say three
before?
things and I'm out. I want to say this first of all. You're a good host, bro. You didn't try to dominate the panel, so I respect you for that as a host. A lot of times you come on these panels, the host try to dominate the panel. You stay back and you listen to everybody. You know when to put your input in, so I respect you. But I want to say this here: this FBA and African resource division going on is all about design. They plan on taking Africa. They want this beef to go on, so when they go over there, it won't be no pushback here. There won't be no protesting. It's all about design, bro. When they done with Africa, they're coming for you, FBA. Remember I told you that. The worst thing you could ever do is divide yourself from your people. It's all a plan. Y'all got to be stupid.
Wow.
You
All
know, I
right.
totally agree
Can
with
I
what he
wait?
said.
Wait, can I say something?
Oh man, she off her mic. Okay, go ahead, cause we about to shut
Okay.
it down. Go ahead.
When people talk about a possible war between United States and Iran, they are not just talking about two countries fighting, they are talking about a conflict that could affect the entire world. The relationship between United States and Iran has been tense for decades. It's going back to one when the Iran Revolution completely changed Iran's government in its relationship with America. Since when there have been such military threats, potential disagreements, moments where the world felt like was one step away from war. But the direct war between these two nations will not be small. The United States has one of the most powerful military in the world. Iran, on the other hand, has strong regional influence and powerful allies in the Middle East. A conflict would likely spread beyond like this. You understand it?
No, we don't understand it because you reading a piece of paper.
What?
You sound like you reading something.
Yes, I
Are
like
you
it.
Iranian? Hold up. Are you Iranian?
No,
Um,
I am not.
Where you
English is
from?
not
I'm from
English is
Turkey.
not the first language.
Okay, then. What language you speak, sister?
Turkish.
Okay, so, I mean, what you reading?
Okay, hold on.
English.
I can't have you. I can't have you attacking the panel. D, you got to
No,
chill out.
I understand she speaking truth, but the problem is she need to perfect her English, dude. We don't understand what the hell you saying.
Well, I mean, but it's not your job to, it's not your job. That's not your job. I mean,
I
so
apologize, bro. I
yeah,
apologize. I
that's
really
not your
apologize,
job.
man. I get emotional. I ain't gonna lie. I get emotional. My mama say the same thing. Mama say, boy, you need to calm your ass down. So I apologize.
Yeah. So, but we getting ready to shut it down. So, Robert, you got a last word?
I would just like to say, first and foremost, blessings and peace to everybody. And I would like to say, I pray for every day for the unification of the copper color nations, the aboriginals that's been reclassified to black. But I would just ask for everybody, man, always prepare yourselves and always prepare yourselves mentally for unification amongst your neighbors, because it takes for each of us to do it. But we should also be pushing for peace worldwide. This if so-called black folks are to it won't be, if we have to save the planet, it won't be the first time, y'all. If you go back and look in history, it's been many a times that we had to save the planet. But we do push for peace worldwide if if possible. And that's what I got to say.
Okay. All right, Brian, you got any last words?
Yeah. What time are you coming?
Oh, it's gonna be pop up. I really don't know exactly what time because I'm normally scheduled, like Wednesday and Sunday and Saturday. So anything outside of that, I'm just popping up.
Okay. All right. Okay. Like I said, all right. Um, all I'm going to say is that, we just have to look out what Trump next move is going to be and see what the results are going to be. So that's all I have to say for now.
Okay, thank you. All right, let's see who is that? Uh, D, you got any last words, D?
Appreciate you allowing me on here. But just like all the other guys said, and some of the other ones towards the end, we all got to unite, whether we like it or not. It's us against them. And as long as we have a common mind to take over and do the right thing, they can't do nothing with us. So these puppets in government, they can't do nothing if we just stand on business and we do what's right. Keep staying prayed up. Ask God to show and reveal things to you, and He gonna continue to show just like He is right now.
Okay. Man, I appreciate you for coming on board, and y'all just stay tuned for the next time we get ready to go live. And Nas, don't ask. I appreciate all the help you did with the sharing the room and things of that nature before we close up and get out of here. Anything you wanted to say?
Oh yeah, I just want to thank you, host, for hosting such a good live and giving the people a platform to actually come up here and express their true feelings. I'm gonna leave it short and simple. Shalom, my civilization. United we stand, divided we fall.
I appreciate you. So, with that being said, you all, we're gonna have a part three, for this right here. And like I said, I didn't know if I wanted to speak on it, or not. And really, I haven't had to do too much talking. You all have taken it and put your thoughts out there, which that's good just to hear, what really the temperament is of the community and seeing, how others think. But one thing for certain, there are mixed feelings, out here. So with that, I just want to say thank you all until the next time we come up. Y'all be